Within the man's body lies a prison holding countless powerful beasts from the primordial era. From the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf and the Chaos Bull Demon to the Spirit Poison Python and even the Judgment Angel, Li Yi, have always been stronger than the rest of the world. Yet, as the eldest son of the premier clan in Lingyun City, I began my awakening at the age of 8, continuing until I turned 18. For 10 long years, my level 10 beast power was siphoned away by the beast prison without my knowledge. Every single attempt at awakening ended in failure. Meanwhile, my half-brother Li Xiao achieved level 4 beast power during his very first awakening, becoming the top genius of Lingyun City. According to clan regulations, anyone who has not awakened their beast power by the age of 18 must leave the clan to manage its peripheral businesses. Furthermore, the clan arranged a marriage between myself and xuanhuan of the Su family in Luyuan City. Xuanhuan is the only daughter of the Su family, a renowned beauty who also failed to awaken any beast power. I had originally thought that living a quiet, ordinary life with her would be acceptable. However, on the night of our wedding, Li Xiao burst into the bridal chamber to commit an atrocity against my wife. At this moment in the bridal chamber, Li Xiao, dressed in white, ripped the hairpin from xuanhuan's hair. In that instant, Li Xiao stood stunned. She was truly the premier beauty of Luyuan City. xuanhuan scrambled onto the bed, slowly retreating backward. "Who are you? Let go of me, or I shall scream. Someone, help me." At that exact moment, the bridal chamber door was pushed open. I stood at the threshold, filled with rage, but Li Xiao did not seem to care at all. After letting go of xuanhuan, he stood up leisurely. "Listen here, elder brother. I have taken a liking to this xuanhuan as well, and I will speak to father to have her marry me instead. You should go find someone else." I gritted my teeth and roared. "Li Xiao, is this something that should be coming from your mouth? As a man, how could I possibly endure such a thing?" The very next second, I charged at him, only to have Li Xiao shove my head down, violently smashing me into the table. The table shattered into pieces, and then he stomped his foot onto my chest. "Do you truly believe that even if I were to kill you right now, father would do anything to stop me?" My entire body trembled as I let out a furious roar, swearing that if I did not avenge this humiliation, I would no longer be considered a man. "You, and what army?" Li Xiao said with utter contempt. "My dear elder brother, today I will let you watch with your own eyes how your bride is trampled beneath me." He then used both hands to twist and snap my legs. I instantly let out a wretched, piercing scream. But at that very moment, an angry shout suddenly erupted from outside the door. "What is the meaning of this?" Li Jiao was instantly struck with terror, turning his head to look back. Li Zhan stood at the doorway, flanked by his men, his expression cold and imposing. "Father, I was wrong." Li Jiao immediately knelt and crawled to Li Zhan's feet. "Father, please listen to my explanation. I was intoxicated, and that is why I committed such an absurd act. I beg of you, father, I truly did not mean for this to happen." Li Zhan merely cast a frigid glance at Li Jiao, before looking down at the figure lying on the ground like a dead dog. He commanded his subordinates, "Have someone treat him. You, follow me." "Yes, father." Li Jiao let out a sigh of relief and rose to his feet. A cold sneer tugged at the corner of Li Jiao's mouth as he cast a glance in my direction and followed his father out. Yet, from beginning to end, Li Zhan did not once step forward to personally check on my injuries. Lying there on the ground, I felt completely disillusioned with the entire Lai family. At that moment, blood from my forehead dripped onto the ring on the middle finger of my left hand, vanishing instantly as if absorbed. Simultaneously, a gloomy voice resonated within my mind. "Having consumed the beast power of 10 10th stage awakenings, the great completion of beast power has finally restored a portion of this old man's strength, allowing me to awaken from the darkness. And through your blood, I have claimed a master. We finally have the chance to see the light of day once more." Hearing the voice inside my head, my eyes widened in shock. But just then, the beast-taming healer arrived to examine me. After the treatment, the broken bones began to knit together. As long as I rested for a few days, there would be no lasting harm. The servants cleaned up the mess and closed the door, hastily leaving the room. As night fell, I lay on the bed while xuanhuan sat on a chair, at a loss for what to do. xuanhuan poured a cup of tea and approached me, asking, "Would you like some water?" xuanhuan asked timidly, but I simply stared blankly at the ceiling, remaining silent. No one knew what was currently churning in my heart. As the minutes ticked by, the effects of the wine still lingering, I gradually closed my eyes and drifted off to sleep. xuanhuan remained seated on the chair, not daring to approach the bed. Only after seeing that I was fast asleep did she timidly creep to my side. Regarding my story, xuanhuan had heard rumors about this man, who had yet to awaken his beast power, ever since our marriage was arranged. Sharing a similar plight, and understanding one another, she appeared truly helpless in this moment. xuanhuan had always kept her expectations of me low, wanting to avoid the sight that greeted her today. My angular face, etched with such firm determination. Though I had yet to awaken my beast power, one could see from my eyes that I remained full of hope. From this point forward, we must rely on each other to survive. Are you truly the man I have envisioned? Xuanhuan reached out a hand, white as a lotus root, and gently caressed my cheek. Yet, I was completely oblivious to the world outside, for at that moment, I found myself trapped in an expanse of utter darkness. Where is this place? Is there anyone here? Looking around, I realized I was standing within a deep, cavernous corridor. On both sides of the hallway stood rows of prison cells, each spanning hundreds of square meters and rising dozens of meters high. In the cell to my left, a colossal wolf, its fur as white as snow, measuring 7 to 8 meters in length, watched me with eerie human-like emerald eyes. Suddenly, my gaze brightened as I noticed a series of ancient beast runes inscribed upon the cell wall. A Moon-Howling Silver Wolf. This creature is an eternal ancient beast. How could this be? On this xuanhuan continent, the soul rings that people absorb are classified by the age of the beast. 10 years, 100, 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000 years. Beyond that level exist only the legendary eternal ancient beasts, yet this wolf standing before me was exactly that. At this moment, the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf seemed to sense my astonishment, and the next second proved even more shocking. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf opened its maw and spoke. Greetings, little one, my dear master of the prison. Is there anything you require my assistance with? I recoiled in terror, slamming straight into the cell directly opposite, and as I turned my head instinctively, I saw a massive serpent, thick as a barrel, its entire body pitch black, stretching for dozens of meters, lying motionless in the corner. Looking closely, the inscription on the cell wall clearly identified it as the eternal ancient beast, spirit-eating venomous python. Seeing that the spirit-eating venomous python remained in a comatose state, I immediately heaved a sigh of relief. Master of the prison, do not be afraid. We mean you no harm. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf spoke in the gentlest tone it could muster. Who exactly are you? I stared at my surroundings in total disbelief. Master of the prison, this is the space contained within your ring. This ring is known as the Beast Realm. The entire Beast Prison is divided into 4 levels: Heaven, Earth, Profound, and Yellow. The current level where the prison master resides is the Yellow Tier Dungeon. Within the Profound Tier Dungeon, ancient demonic beasts are imprisoned, possessing power even greater than that of primordial demonic beasts. Ascending further, one finds the archaic demonic beasts, which are even more formidable. In the final level, the Heaven Tier Dungeon, the most powerful primordial beasts are kept in confinement. Hearing the introduction from the Howling Moon Silver Wolf, I murmured to myself, primordial, ancient, archaic, and primordial. That is not right. Is it not said that primordial demonic beasts are the most powerful? Could it be that there exist entities even stronger than them? Naturally. The Howling Moon Silver Wolf let out a laugh that sounded uncannily human. It was because your 10 years of awakened beast essence were absorbed by me that I was able to regain consciousness. Combined with your blood essence used for the master-servant bond, this beast prison space was unlocked, allowing us to meet. What? I immediately widened my eyes, then lunged forward like a ferocious beast, roaring as I asked, My 10 years of beast essence were absorbed by you? That is correct. Without your beast essence, I would not have been able to awaken. The Howling Moon Silver Wolf did not seem to realize the gravity of the situation. It looked at me with a hint of confusion, only to see me gripping the iron bars with all my might, staring at the Howling Moon Silver Wolf with a gaze cold enough to kill. My awakening, the failure of my beast essence, it was all your doing. Hearing this, the Howling Moon Silver Wolf finally grasped the situation. But at this very moment, as my fury surged, a destructive pressure radiated from my body, bearing down upon the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. Prison Master, please, do not kill me. And you must wait a moment. The Howling Moon Silver Wolf was instantly struck with terror, its massive form shrinking into the corner as it begged repeatedly. Since you have unlocked the beast prison, you will gain the power of every demonic beast held within. I am an ancient demonic beast. Surely you would desire the beast soul of an ancient demonic beast? Hearing this, my rage gradually began to subside. The beast soul of an ancient demonic beast. Explain everything to me clearly. If you do not provide a satisfactory explanation, I will not spare you. Having said that, I realized that within this space, I possessed absolute power to punish these demonic beasts. As the prison master, a single thought from me was enough to end their lives. Prison Master, please listen to me. All the demonic beasts within the beast prison are currently in a deep slumber. However, as long as there is enough strength for us to consume, we can all fully awaken. And you, Master of the prison, are the true master of the beast prison. All ancient, primordial, archaic, and primeval spirit beasts within this prison are yours to command at will. While others are limited to possessing only 3 or 4 different beast souls, you command them all. Could this not compensate for the price of 10 years of failed awakenings? Now return to the outside world to awaken once more. As long as I do not absorb the beast energy, you will naturally awaken your own. Furthermore, once you have awakened your beast energy, you can summon me as a beast soul, and I can emerge to assist you in battle. Hearing this, my fury completely dissipated. If what you say is true, I can choose to forgive you. Moreover, master of the prison, it seems you are still unaware of the rank of your own beast energy, are you? I nodded, admitting, having absorbed your beast energy for 10 years, I have already discerned its rank, and even I was somewhat surprised. Your beast energy is of the 10-stage 10,000-year rarity, a perfect innate beast energy, do you understand? What? I widened my eyes instantly, crying out in disbelief. Is that true? Of course it is. Hearing this, I immediately burst into laughter, but after laughing for a moment, I suddenly began to sob. For 10 long years, I had to endure countless insults and criticisms. Now that I can finally change my fate, I am weeping with joy, though I still hope the master of the prison will quickly find some energy-rich items for me to consume. At present, I have only recovered 1% of my strength. Even if summoned by the master of the prison to fight, I would only be perceived by others as a 10-year beast soul. But since I am an ancient beast, the strength I can unleash is equivalent to that of a 100-year beast soul. What specifically constitutes an energy-rich item? I asked hurriedly. The beast souls within the bodies of beast tamers? The physical forms of beasts, their beast souls, and various rare medicinal herbs are all sufficient. That is no problem. I shall go out and find some for you immediately. I replied in haste. Suddenly I asked with a hint of doubt, then how do I leave this place now? The master of the prison need only focus your will to exit. It is the same process for entering. Upon hearing this, I closed my eyes slightly and focused my attention on the outside world. In the next instant, the dark prison before my eyes vanished, replaced by the scene of my own wedding chamber. Looking around, I saw a young woman in a red bridal gown sitting by the bed, her head resting on her hand, sleeping in such an uncomfortable manner. Reflecting on the events that just transpired, I hurriedly inspected the ring upon my finger. No one knows that this ring traveled with me across the void to the Tianyuan continent. I never imagined it would bestow such vast fortuitous encounters upon me. Wait, what if all of that was merely a dream? I was suddenly startled, then closed my eyes to focus my willpower on the beast realm. In the next heartbeat, I appeared once more within the beast prison. Seeing my return, the silver Moon-Howling Wolf asked with suspicion, "Does the prison master have any orders?" Nothing at all. I was simply verifying whether I was dreaming. Having said that, I departed the realm once more. The silver Moon-Howling Wolf, witnessing this, could not help but reveal a smile with a distinctly human quality. Outside, the night was pitch black, and I had no idea what time it had become. The candle in the room had burned down to its stub, and as I moved my legs, I felt that there was nothing abnormal about my condition. Withdrawing my arm from beneath xuanhuan, I sat up and climbed out of bed. I tapped xuanhuan on the shoulder, and she rubbed her sleep-heavy eyes before sitting up. "You are awake." Seeing me standing firmly on the floor, xuanhuan immediately sat upright. "How are you already able to stand?" "Quickly, sit back down." Observing xuanhuan's flustered appearance, I suddenly smiled, simultaneously finding that this woman, even under the dim, flickering candlelight, was quite captivating. xuanhuan's long hair draped over her shoulders, with light wispy bangs resting upon her forehead. Her figure was not overly voluptuous, yet it possessed grace in all the right places. Being stared at in such a manner, xuanhuan instantly turned her head away in bashfulness. "Why are you looking at me like that? You are my wife. Why should I not be allowed to look?" I let out a soft chuckle, then walked over to the newly replaced round table, poured a cup of tea, and drained it in one gulp. As for this entirely new form of address, xuanhuan seemed to have been caught completely unprepared. She remained silent, simply standing to the side, overcome with shyness. "Regardless, from this day forth, she is my woman, and I shall not permit anyone to bully her again." Hearing the promise of the man standing before her, xuanhuan blossomed with a blissful smile. "Very well, it is not early anymore. Let us rest." I sat back down upon the bed. Yet xuanhuan did not move. I could only watch as she nervously At this moment, her mind was filled only with my words. "We should rest now. What shall we do next?" xuanhuan had already anticipated this. Although she had imagined this moment countless times in her mind, now that it had truly arrived, xuanhuan remained incredibly nervous. Before the wedding, xuanhuan's father had told her that once married, she must be obedient to her husband. This was the most fundamental duty of a woman. "What is the matter? Are you still shy?" As I removed my boots and climbed onto the bed, I couldn't help but chuckle at the sight of xuanhuan standing there like a statue. Only then did xuanhuan timidly take small steps toward the bed, removing her embroidered red shoes. I retrieved the red veil from earlier and draped it once more over xuanhuan's head. "That scoundrel, Li Jiao, bullied me. I swear I will make him pay in blood. We shall unveil this red veil once more." Having said that, I gently lifted the veil from xuanhuan's face. I looked at her lush crimson lips, her long eyelashes, and her large shimmering eyes, which were brimming with a shyness that prevented her from meeting my gaze. I gently took xuanhuan's small hands into mine. I whispered, "Follow me, and I will surely cherish you with all my heart." With those words, I tilted my head slightly and pressed my lips to hers. Feeling the scorching heat of my breath, xuanhuan's heart began to race like a frightened fawn. As she saw me leaning in, xuanhuan gently closed her eyes. The bed curtains fell. Under the flickering candlelight, I slowly guided xuanhuan down as her red wedding dress and undergarments were cast aside one by one outside the drapes. Moments later, the entire bed began to tremble. The rhythmic creaking echoed through the silent room, accelerating from a slow cadence until it finally fell still. Looking at xuanhuan as she slept soundly, a satisfied smile graced my lips. I stealthily dressed myself and slipped out of the room. I followed a familiar path toward a raised platform in the martial arts arena. Atop it sat a colossal stone, carved with images of soaring birds and running beasts. This was the Beast Soul Stone, used to awaken one's beast power. The Xuanhuan Silver Wolf claimed I possessed the 10th stage of full beast power, but I remained skeptical. I had to see for myself. Furthermore, the awakening of beast power must occur through the Beast Soul Stone. Only this relic could fully activate the dormant energy within the body. Upon touching the Beast Soul Stone, it would exert a tremendous pressure. The longer I could endure this pressure, the greater the degree of my beast power activation would be. I approached the Beast Soul Stone tentatively, my hand trembling as I placed it upon the surface. The very instant my right hand made contact with the stone, a vast, overwhelming pressure surged forth. This is a sensation I have never experienced in the 10 years since my awakening ceremony. It is truly real. Everything the Moon Silver Wolf said was true. As the immense pressure surged over me, the beast force within my body was finally triggered. The carvings of soaring birds and running beasts on the Beast Soul Stone began to radiate a brilliant light. 1 stage, 2 stages, 3 stages. The 10th stage of beast force was awakened. I felt an immense power surging from within my body and let out a hearty laugh. But the very next moment, I hurriedly closed my eyes and withdrew my hand. The beast force has been unlocked. Now I can finally utilize this power and absorb beast souls. On the Beast Soul Stone, the light faded away. I crept back to my room, but I failed to notice something. The 10th stage of beast force was still displayed clearly upon the Beast Soul Stone. The next day, servant responsible for cleaning the martial arts arena saw the 10th stage of beast force recorded on the stone. He rubbed his eyes in disbelief. 10th stage beast force? Can this be right? Has this thing malfunctioned? Just then, a woman in a sensual kipao hurried toward the scene. The servant in charge of cleaning immediately reported the incident to her. The woman in the kipao was the very person in charge of yesterday's awakening ceremony. Upon seeing the 10th stage beast force displayed on the stone, she did not seem surprised at all and immediately erased the mark. No one knew that a peerless prodigy with 10th stage beast force had been born in Linyun City that very night. My eyes to see xuanhuan sleeping soundly in my arms. I gently kissed her forehead. At this kiss, xuanhuan opened her eyes. She had awakened. Upon seeing me, xuanhuan lowered her head to look at her body beneath the blanket. She could not help but bury her head in my chest, feeling shy. Husband, you are truly detestable. Why are you looking at me with such eyes? Xuanhuan had become completely mine. At this moment, her entire heart was placed solely upon me. The next second, xuanhuan pulled a white handkerchief from under the covers, upon which were drops of crimson blood. This token of my maidenhood is for you, my husband. In this life, I am yours. This handkerchief held extraordinary significance, so I stored it away securely and with great care. A knock echoed at the door, followed by the voice of a servant from outside. Young master, it is time to wake up and wash. Although I was not favored, as the eldest son, I still received the treatment and service of the household staff. Upon waking, a servant entered the room carrying a tray. On the tray lay a stack of banknotes, along with the leave for the tavern and the business registration documents. It was clear they intended for me to depart this very day. I remained composed, showing no expression whatsoever. After washing up with xuanhuan, I packed my belongings and departed from this place of turmoil. I would never return to the Li family, and as for Li Xiao, I stood outside the grand gates of the Li estate, silently marking his name in my mind. Linyun City is a renowned city within the great Xia Empire. The Li family has been established in Linyun City for hundreds of years. Their foundation is deep, and they are not to be shaken by ordinary men. I harbor no affection for the Li family. Our next meeting shall be the time for reckoning. Leaving Linyun City behind, our carriage traveled along the main road. At this moment, 5 or 6 mysterious figures dressed in black were trailing closely behind. Young master, since we have followed you out of the city and captured Li Yi's wife, surely you will let us have a taste of the broth? What kind of broth? A watery, tasteless one? Who knows? Perhaps Li Yi already took xuanhuan's maidenhead yesterday. One man on horseback, trailing the carriage ahead at a steady, leisurely pace, spoke to the man riding the white horse beside him. Regardless of whether xuanhuan has already lost her purity or not, I intend to have my fun with her. Once he is out of the Li family and out of Linyun City, that Li Yi is worth absolutely nothing. This man was none other than my half-brother. Since early morning, Li Xiao had sent men to shadow me, waiting for the moment I left the city to begin the pursuit. Fearing any unforeseen complications, Li Xiao had followed us for 30 miles, all the way to Wanlong Tablet. Li Xiao could not help but signal the men with a sharp glance. They prepared to strike. This place is Wanglong Tablet, a location frequented by bandits. Here they would end my life. With no one the wiser, they could easily shift the blame onto the bandits. The very next second, the 5 men spurred their horses and gave chase. As the rhythmic thundering of hooves drew near, I immediately peered out the window to look. Upon seeing Li Xiao leading the group, in this desolate and remote wilderness, no one would notice if someone were to die here. Stay inside the carriage, and under no circumstances are you to step out. I patted xuanhuan's hand, giving her my final instructions. The next second, I focused my consciousness on the beast realm and stepped within. I am currently in danger. How can I make you become my beast soul? Arriving before the containment cell of the Howling Silver Wolf, I asked with a heavy heart, Lord Warden. You only need to circulate your beast energy and concentrate your focus on the beast realm. I can feel the beast energy flowing naturally into your body, becoming your very own beast soul. Overjoyed, I departed the beast realm and immediately brought the carriage to a halt. Looking at those men, I bared a cold, chilling smile. Today I shall ensure that you die without a burial plot. The 5 men forced the carriage to stop, each clutching a long sword, their faces twisted with mocking grins as they looked at the vehicle. They could no longer contain their impatience, eager to drag the woman from the carriage and ravage her upon the grass nearby. My good-for-nothing brother, I never expected to encounter you here. I leaped from the carriage, channeling the beast energy in my body into my palm, and slammed it fiercely into the carriage, the overwhelming force snapping the axle. The horse, terrified, broke free from its harness and galloped away in a frenzy. Deprived of the pulling force from the front, the carriage tilted sharply forward. I caught the heavy carriage with one hand and slowly lowered it to the ground. The carriage curtain was drawn back, and xuanhuan, carrying a small bundle, stepped out with a look of panic and distress. I smiled and patted xuanhuan, signaling for her to remain calm. I then turned around, casting a cold gaze at Li Xiao. Have you finally reached your limit after stalking me for so long? You knew I was tracking you, yet you still did not return to Linyun City? Li Xiao asked, clearly taken aback. If I did not lure you out here, how could I settle the score for what happened yesterday? Li Xiao was stunned for a moment, then burst into loud, mocking laughter. Revenge coming from you, a piece of trash who cannot even awaken his own beast energy? What ability do you possess to even consider retribution? As the words left his lips, Li Xiao let out a roar, and a spectral gray wolf emerged from his body, hovering ominously in the air behind him. This was Li Xiao's beast soul. Beast souls are not awakened at birth. They are claimed only after slaying a demonic beast, absorbing its soul to achieve this form, and utilizing the beast's power to summon it for battle. With what do you intend to exact your revenge upon me? How could I gaze greedily at the illusion of the Gale Demon Wolf looming behind Li Xiao? Within my mind, the voice of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf echoed from the beast realm. I looked toward Li Xiao once more. In my eyes, these people had already become nothing more than nourishment for my Moon-Howling Silver Wolf. I wonder, does my 10-year beast soul possess the necessary qualifications? I bared my teeth in a ferocious grin. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, a beam of white light erupted from my body. A moment later, a wolf-like spirit beast, 7 to 8 meters in length, its body white as snow and pure as moonlight, manifested behind me. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf tilted its head to the heavens and let out a long howl, a roar that shook the very depths of the soul. The Gale Demon Wolf behind Li Xiao cowered like a mere cub, trembling uncontrollably, curling into a ball, not daring to move an inch. You possess a beast soul. Li Xiao's pupils constricted, his entire body trembling. The immense pressure emanating from that colossal white wolf caused Li Xiao, who had also absorbed a wolf-type beast soul, to feel a crushing weight upon his own soul. It was a long time before Li Xiao finally managed to recover from his shock. Impossible. This cannot be. You could not even awaken your beast power. How could you possibly possess a beast soul? Furthermore, why is this beast soul so massive? This cannot possibly be a 10-year beast soul. No, this is a 10,000-year beast soul. Li Xiao's 4 subordinates instantly widened their eyes in terror. A 10,000-year beast soul is a rare sight, even throughout the entire Great Xia Kingdom. At this moment, they were consumed by a deep, gut-wrenching regret. They never imagined that the eldest son of the Li family, ridiculed as trash for 10 years, had been biding his time in silence, secretly absorbing a 10,000-year beast soul without a soul knowing. No, this is a fabrication. This is nothing but an illusion you have cast. 10 years. For 10 whole years, you were branded a good-for-nothing. It is impossible for you to have possessed a beast soul without anyone knowing. This is merely a ploy to intimidate me. I will not fall for your tricks. Li Xiao found himself completely unable to accept the reality before him. In the next heartbeat, a ferocious killing intent flared in Li Xiao's eyes. Gale Demon Wolf, kill him for me. Li Xiao issued his command. The Gale Demon Wolf managed to muster a sliver of fighting spirit. Driven by the spiritual urgings of its master, the beast endured the overwhelming pressure, let out a feeble roar, and lunged toward me. Yet, this Gale demon wolf, barely 2 meters in length, was nothing more than a toddler standing before a seasoned thug when compared to the howling silver moon wolf. As the Gale demon wolf charged, the howling silver moon wolf opened its maw, unleashing a torrent of primal energy characteristic of an ancient beast. In that moment, the Gale demon wolf was filled with regret, and Li Chao felt it as well, because he could clearly sense that the colossal 10,000-year-old beast before him, whose very presence made it difficult to breathe, was genuine. Li truly possessed a beast soul over 10,000 years old. He had indeed been biding his time for 10 long years. No one had been aware of this, and Li Chao was the first to witness the true extent of my power. This was the first conscious thought to cross Li Chao's mind after his initial shock, but it was already far too late. The grievances of the past were fully settled the moment the howling silver moon wolf swallowed the Gale demon wolf whole. As the beast's soul was devoured, the shattered spiritual contract dealt a massive backlash upon Li Chao. Yet, the small fragment of reason remaining told Li Chao that he had to kneel and beg for mercy immediately. Without another word, Li Chao dropped to his knees and crawled toward me. "Brother, please, I beg you to spare me. I am your younger brother. Am I not your own flesh and blood?" Li Chao clung to my leg, pleading in a state of panic. "My own brother? You animal, you scum, do you even remember that you are my brother? I have no brother like you. You even dared to harbor malicious intentions towards your own sister-in-law. If I do not take your head as a plaything today, I am no man." With a furious roar, I delivered a swift kick to Li Chao's head, sending him sprawling to the ground. Did Li Zan ever look at me with an ounce of kindness? Do you know how my birth mother died? Do you even know? She was driven to her death by your mother, the second mistress. Neither you nor your mother are good people. Li Zan has placed all his hopes in you. Today I will let him experience the bitter, crushing sensation of seeing all his hope dissolve into nothingness. Watching Li Yi, who appeared nearly crazed and blinded by hatred, Li Chao struggled against the dizziness and the throbbing pain in his skull as he scrambled backward. Fresh blood flowed from his forehead into his eyes, yet Li Chao did not dare to wipe it away. The blood blurred his vision. Li Chao blinked incessantly, but at that very moment, a tearing, gut-wrenching. Following this, the sound of something shattering echoed. Li Chao recoiled like a wounded worm, writhing ceaselessly upon the ground. "Run, quickly flee." Seizing the moment, the 4 men immediately spurred their horses and bolted toward the horizon. I turned my head and let out a cold snort. Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, slaughter them all. The massive Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, spanning 7 to 8 meters in length, lunged forward. With a single leap, it descended directly in the path of the 4 men. It opened its cavernous maw, as wide as a blood basin, and in an instant, those men were swallowed whole into the beast's belly. Gazing down at Li Chao, who was still convulsing upon the earth, I did not feel a single shred of pity. Channeling the bestial power within my body into my right leg, I delivered a ruthless stomp in the next heartbeat, crushing Li Chao's skull into the dust. Turning my gaze towards xuanhuan, I saw that she had already fainted from the gruesome display before her eyes. "Xuanhuan," I rushed over in a panic to support her before grabbing a stray horse. I performed a hasty repair on the carriage and placed xuanhuan inside. Eyeing Li Chao's white stallion and the remaining horses, I felt a flicker of intent, but merely patted their flanks and chased them away. Looking around, I realized this was Wanglong Ridge, a territory frequently haunted by bandits. With this thought in mind, I walked over, stripped Li Chao of every possession on his person, and tossed his corpse into the brush. Once finished, I dusted off my hands and steered the carriage away from Wanglong Ridge. Yet as I departed, the bandits of Wanglong Ridge arrived at the scene. The commotion caused by the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf had already drawn the attention of the bandits from afar. But upon their arrival, they encountered a herd of fine horses wandering unattended, and promptly seized them. These bandits failed entirely to notice the discarded corpse hidden in the roadside brush. There is no such thing as a free meal in this world. The treasures you scavenge may very well invite your own destruction. Several days later, news of Li Chao's disappearance spread throughout Linyun City. The Lai clan mobilized a vast number of men to search for him. Li Zhan suspected that rival clans had taken action against his son. However, when the Li clan received intelligence that Li Chao's fine horses had been spotted at Wanglong Ridge, they immediately led a detachment there. The bandits of Wanglong Ridge could never have dreamed that the horses they scavenged belonged to the Li clan of Linyun City. When Li Zhan caught sight of his clan's prized horses, he immediately ordered his men to surround the entire bandit stronghold. The bandits stood bewildered, utterly ignorant of the circumstances. At that very moment, someone discovered Li Chao's remains on the main path of Wanglong Ridge. The assets on Li Chao's body had vanished without a trace, and his fine horses had surfaced at the bandit camp. The conclusion was self-evident, leaving the city lord of Linyun with no need for further inquiry. The bandit stronghold of Wanglong Ridge, which had been a thorn in their side for decades, was slaughtered to the last man by the Li clan in a single night. Yet it seemed that no one took note. Although the bandits possessed the strength to slay Li Jiao, the only silver rank beastmaster among their ranks was absent from the lair on that fateful day. As for Li Jiao, he stood as an elite among the younger generation, having reached the level of a bronze rank beastmaster at the mere age of 16 within the entire bandit stronghold. Those capable of killing him could be counted on one hand. No one spared a thought for the commoner, who had been dispatched elsewhere to manage the family's business. Yong'an County is not vast, and its geographical location is quite remote. It appears that Li Jian has truly grown disillusioned with me. The territory of the Great Xia is vast beyond measure. Below the 18 domain cities, there are dozens of prefecture cities under their administration, and beneath each prefecture city lie countless counties and villages. Within the nations of the Tianyuan continent, the cities under direct administration are known as domain cities, roughly equivalent to the provincial-level cities of my previous world. Prefecture cities are those subordinate to the domain cities. Having been in Yong'an County for several days now, Xuanhuan had finally recovered from the weakened state she suffered after being frightened into unconsciousness that day. "Husband," Xuanhuan called out weakly, "I have brought chicken soup to your bedside. How are you feeling? You seem to have improved significantly." I reached out to help Xuanhuan sit up, propping her against the headboard. "Come, drink some of this chicken soup." "Husband, these past few days have been difficult for you," Xuanhuan said with a sense of remorse. Having just been wed, she felt deeply uneasy that she required such attentive care from me. "You are my wife. Caring for you is my duty. Only when you have recovered can you help me manage the tavern." I carefully blew on the chicken soup, feeding it to Xuanhuan one spoonful at a time. After finishing the soup, the color had clearly returned to Xuanhuan's face. "Rest now. I shall go to check on the state of the tavern." Yong'an County is not large, and the population is sparse. Business at the tavern is modest, so there is no need for your assistance just yet. Xuanhuan nodded happily as she lay back down. Yong'an County is under the jurisdiction of Liyuan City, and it is not far from Xuanhuan's maternal home. It would be quite convenient for her to visit her family, and the tavern itself is situated on the county central street. It is a 2-story establishment with a prime storefront, housing a wine cellar and a brewing workshop in the rear. The tavern, including the brewers, employs a total of 15 people. Upon my arrival, I took direct control of operations, yet I refrained from interfering with their work, allowing them to continue their established routines. Furthermore, I increased everyone's wages by 5%, ensuring that I could be an owner who enjoys peace of mind while delegating tasks. They say a new official lighting 3 torches signifies a shift in power, but my approach is different. I have granted all 15 servants a significant increase in their compensation. This gesture has earned me the genuine goodwill of everyone here. I made my way to the adjacent room and pushed the door open. It has been 2 or 3 days since I arrived in Yong'an County, and I have yet to find the time to examine the spoils I seized from Li Jiao. Killing Li Jiao and consuming the beast soul of the Gale Demon Wolf allowed the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf to recover 5% of its strength. Consuming the other 4 individuals provided an additional 6%. Looking across all of Yong'an County, even the county magistrate himself cannot compare to my current level of strength. Absorbing a beast soul is an arduous process. Achieving a high level of synchronization is exceptionally difficult. First and foremost, the beast soul you intend to absorb must be slain by your own hand. This constraint means that the beast souls many cultivators absorb initially are often limited to those with only 10 years of cultivation or less. Just consider this. How could someone who has yet to even reach the rank of Black Iron Beastmaster possibly slay a demonic beast with centuries of cultivation? Even Li Jiao required the assistance of numerous experts from the Li family to land the final blow and claim the beast, which speaks volumes about just how formidable such creatures are. I opened the parcel, revealing a stack of banknotes before my eyes. Between the funds provided by my family upon my departure and what I took from Li Jiao, the total amounts to 30,000 taels. For an ordinary household, 30,000 taels is a sum they could not earn in a lifetime. Yet for me, this is merely the price of a single 100-year-old medicinal herb or a rare beast material. Now that I am officially considered a Black Iron Beastmaster, these resources will suffice for my immediate needs. Therefore, I must now devise a way to elevate my strength to the rank of Bronze Beastmaster. Once I reach that level, I will possess enough confidence to traverse the Great Xia Kingdom without fear. On the Tianyuan continent, the mastery of beasts is the foundation of power. The ranks of Beastmasters are divided into Black Iron, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, King, Star, Radiant Moon, and Scorching Sun. Among these 10 ranks, one only needs to possess a beast soul of their own to be considered a Black Iron Beastmaster. However, reaching the rank of Bronze Beastmaster requires you to perfectly manifest the power of your beast soul. In technical terms, this is known as the synchronization rate. The synchronization rate of a newly absorbed beast soul is directly tied to the circumstances of how you slew the beast and the strength of your own beast power. If you slay a demonic beast entirely on your own from start to finish, the synchronization rate will undoubtedly be higher. Furthermore, your own beast power plays a crucial role. The higher your beast power, the more effectively you can manifest the strength of your beast soul, which in turn leads to a higher synchronization rate. I do not need to risk my life venturing out to hunt demonic beasts. Within the beast realm lie hundreds of powerful beasts, and I can transform into any of their souls as I please. Naturally, the prerequisite remains As for the synchronization rate, the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf claims I possess the 10th stage great perfection of beast power, and furthermore, it is completely submissive to me. Therefore, regarding the beast soul of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, the synchronization rate can easily reach 100%, allowing me to unleash the power of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf perfectly. In other words, I can now be considered as having stepped into the rank of Bronze Beastmaster. My next goal is the Silver Beastmaster. The requirement for a Silver Beastmaster is that the beast soul can leave the body to fight independently. Typically, a Beastmaster absorbs a beast soul. The beast soul takes the Beastmaster as its host and cannot leave the body. Otherwise, it would gradually dissipate. However, a Silver Beastmaster can allow the beast soul to leave the body and engage in combat. In this way, the beast soul can manifest the true power of the demonic beast even more effectively. Yet, I suddenly recalled the day I killed the 4 men surrounding Li Jiao. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf seemed to have detached itself from my body at that moment. Master of the prison, I have come to understand this world of yours to some extent. The voice of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf suddenly echoed. In this current world of yours, from what I can see, those called Beastmasters below the gold rank are all the same, with no fundamental differences. We are all ancient demonic beasts, transformed into beast souls, assisting the master of the prison in battle. Do not even speak of synchronization rates or leaving the body. Such tasks are as easy as turning over one's hand. What? According to your words, does this mean I have already reached the rank of Silver Beastmaster? I asked in disbelief, to which it replied, you may understand it as such. Furthermore, Master of the prison, if you restore my strength to 100%, we will be able to merge into one, which is exactly what you call a Gold Beastmaster. A Gold Beastmaster can merge with the beast soul, gaining the immense power of the beast itself. This is the true ability of a Gold Beastmaster. I am a Silver Beastmaster. I have truly become a Silver Beastmaster. After realizing the extent of my strength, I found it incredibly difficult to believe. Others do not know how much effort they must expend, nor how long they must struggle to achieve a 100% synchronization rate, let alone reach the stage where the beast soul can leave the body to fight. Now, simply because my beast soul is an ancient demonic beast, I can bypass these requirements entirely. So next, I only need to expend energy to raise your recovery rate, is that correct? Naturally, once I am fully recovered, that will be the moment you, Master, reach the rank of Gold Beastmaster. A Gold Beastmaster, you say? I sighed inwardly. Even that wretched man, Li Jian, who I am forced to call my father, is merely a Golden Beastmaster. Yet I am but a single step away from reaching that very rank. When that day comes, I shall return to Lingyun City. Who within the Li family would dare to point fingers or order me about then? After a long moment of internal excitement, I finally managed to steady my emotions. What I had looted from Li Xiao was not merely banknotes, but also a ring. I recognized this item as a soul ring, crafted from rare materials unique to the Tianyuan continent. This soul ring houses a pocket dimension within itself, its size determined by the quality of its craftsmanship. It is an essential tool for any cultivator on a journey. However, a soul ring cannot be used simply by picking it up. The original owner imprints their beast energy to form a barrier around it, which remains impenetrable unless one possesses strength exceeding that of the previous owner. Otherwise, there is absolutely no way to bypass the ring's defenses. I channeled my beast energy, wrapping it around the soul ring. In the next instant, my beast energy transformed into a spear, surging toward the ring's barrier. A faint sound of shattering echoed through the air. The barrier had been broken by my beast energy, and immediately, the contents of the ring manifested in my mind. The space within was approximately 5 cubic meters in size. The items inside were scattered about in a disorganized heap. Piles of gold, silver, and precious jewels were stacked in one corner, while toys and trinkets were tossed into another. Everyday necessities were strewn about in complete disarray, and tucked into the corner lay several exquisite gift boxes. These were clearly the spoils Li Xiao had secretly embezzled from the family treasury over the years. I retrieved the exquisite gift boxes and pried them open. Upon spotting an ancient azure-colored manual resting inside, my eyes widened in astonishment. The primary strength of a Beastmaster originates from their beast soul. The beast soul itself retains combat experience from its previous life, but upon reaching the silver tier, the beast soul can manifest outside the master's body. Left alone, the Beastmaster would be vulnerable, stripped of all protection. Thus, beast techniques were conceived. A beast technique is a potent ability channeled through one's beast energy. If utilized in tandem with one's own beast soul, the resulting destructive power is magnified significantly. Should the beast technique align with the elemental attribute of the beast soul, its power increases by yet another tier. I saw the title inscribed clearly upon the manual. Gale Steps, Gale Demon Wolf. I suddenly recalled the nature of Li Xiao's beast soul. It seems this was yet another treasure procured for him by that wretched father of mine. It appears, however, that Li Xiao had yet to actually cultivate it. Turning the pages, the rank of this beast technique was clearly recorded within. Beast techniques are also categorized by rank. They are primarily divided into 4 tiers: Heaven, Earth, Mysterious, and Yellow. As for the Gale Steps manual in my hand, it is merely a middle-grade yellow tier technique, nothing more than a common item. I then proceeded to inspect the other boxes, and among them, I finally discovered a treasure that I could utilize. Lord Prison Master. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf within the beast prison seemed to sense this immense power and instantly awakened. Consuming this will allow me to recover a portion of my strength. At the very least, it should restore me to 10% of my peak. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf spoke with confidence, but in the next moment, it suddenly hesitated. In truth, I do not wish for you to use this wind spirit herb on me, Lord Prison Master. Why? I asked immediately, filled with suspicion. Is restoring your strength not beneficial for both you and me? Lord Prison Master, my current 6% recovery is sufficient to ensure your safety for the time being. But your own methods are too limited, and I have a much better proposal. Let me hear it, I replied, instantly intrigued. Lord Prison Master, please enter the beast prison first. With a slight movement, I vanished and reappeared within the confines of the beast prison. In the cold, dark depths of the prison, the snow-white Moon-Howling Silver Wolf slowly rose and approached the bars of its cage. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf spoke slowly. Lord Prison Master, within these yellow rank cells, the abilities of each beast differ greatly. If you are able to restore the ancient spirit beasts that possess unique capabilities, then you too will gain a variety of diverse powers. Could that really be true? Upon hearing this, my eyes widened in realization. The strength of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf is beyond dispute, but if I were to awaken other spirit beasts, I would indeed gain entirely new abilities. I shall first investigate their backgrounds and strengths, ensuring they are powerful enough, before choosing the most suitable one to resurrect, I said, half-jokingly. That goes without saying. In the world of spirit beasts, the strong rule over the weak, and the big fish eat the small. I am well aware of my own strength when compared to these ancient beasts. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf completely ignored my jest. Very well, I shall examine them one by one first. I nodded and began to inspect them in sequence. Number 99 was that spirit venom python. Its abilities consist of potent. Entry number 98 is a demonic beast, known as the Black Tortoise, possessing formidable defensive capabilities. Entry number 97 is a phantom butterfly, endowed with powerful hallucinatory abilities. Reviewing them one by one, I contemplate what kind of ability I truly require at this moment. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf possesses exceptional speed and devastating offensive power. In terms of offense, I am already satisfied. Therefore, if I must choose a suitable beast, I intend to select one of the support variety. Just then, my eyes fall upon a humanoid beast ranked 8th, known as the Saint of Light. The appearance of this Saint of Light is reminiscent of an angel, a female angel at that. She lies silently within the confines of her cage. Its Moon-Howling Silver Wolf warns, "My lord, do not be deceived by its outward appearance. Beneath that holy and alluring exterior lies the heart of a cruel and ruthless beast. It possesses the power to heal others, yet it requires the consumption of hearts to sustain that life-saving ability. My primary reason for choosing the Saint of Light is its immense regenerative power. Naturally, this is what I tell the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf. As for the hidden thoughts within my heart, no one else shall know. After all, a man remains a youth until his dying day. Who could possibly refuse such an ethereal beauty? And possesses 2 pairs of wings, and her ample bosom is enough to put most women to shame. Her golden hair is undoubtedly of foreign origin, and atop her head rests a pair of horns, resembling those of a deer, yet they are ivory white. I slowly retrieve the wind spirit herb, refining it into pure energy that drifts like blue smoke into the body of the Saint of Light. In the following second, a soft moan suddenly resonates within the silent cage. I widen my eyes in excitement. I watch as the Saint of Light slowly rises to a sitting position. Seeing her on the cold, hard floor stirs a sense of sympathy within me. Looking closer, I cannot help but gasp in shock. I have only restored 2% of the Saint of Light's vitality. Yet, as the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf previously stated, the higher the rank of the beast, the greater its strength, and consequently, the more energy required for its restoration. This is understandable, but upon closer inspection, after the Saint of Light awakens, she cowers in the corner, gazing at me with tremulous eyes, too afraid to approach. Greetings, I am the master of this beast prison, your jailer. I offer what I consider to be a friendly and benevolent smile, waving my hand in a gesture of peace. The next moment, the Saint of Light stirs. She wears a pitiable expression, pouting as she slowly makes her way toward me. Master of the prison, was it you who resurrected me? It is so dark here, I am truly afraid. This demeanor, this voice, and that aura of fragility, it is enough to stir a man's deepest protective instincts. Even I found myself moved. Lord Warden, I am truly terrified. I have been slumbering for countless years. Could you not set me free? The holy envoy of light, her fingers delicate as jade stalks, reached out with a pitiful expression to gently grasp the massive black iron bars. That is certainly not a problem. But you must become my beast spirit. I am not a fool. I naturally knew this holy envoy of light had ulterior motives. Is there no alternative to becoming a beast spirit? If you release me, I shall remain by your side every single day. Whatever you command of me, I shall do. The holy envoy of light slowly extended her right hand, attempting to touch me. But the moment she made contact, a bolt of black lightning surged from my body. This black lightning struck directly against the snow-white hand of the holy envoy of light. The holy envoy of let out a miserable shriek and quickly withdrew her hand. Upon closer inspection, a jagged black scar had already marred her slender fair skin. Lord Warden, you are truly heartless. You have no regard for beauty at all. The holy envoy of light said, with deep resentment. So, will you become my beast spirit or not? I asked coldly. A beast spirit can only exist within your body, but I desire to be by your side at all times and in all places. Can it be that you do not desire to possess my body? With words, the holy envoy of light stood up, her figure swaying and undulating with grace inside the cage. I could not help but swallow hard. Of course I desired it, yet I still insisted that she become my beast spirit. I was not naive. This creature was clearly attempting to seduce me. Were she to be released, one could only imagine the calamity she would bring upon countless men. Furthermore, she favored the taste of hearts, and being an ancient demonic beast, one could easily fathom the extent of her cruelty, which was directly proportional to her beauty. Recognizing her ploy to entrap me, I began to lose my patience. Will you agree or not? Seeing my expression darken, realizing that her charms had failed to work on me, the holy envoy of light could only sigh and concede. She knew that within this spirit prison, the warden was the absolute master. If I wished to destroy her, a single thought would suffice. To continue this charade was meaningless. If Lord Warden insists, then this holy envoy of light has no objections. Seeing this, I exhaled a breath of relief. Rest assured, once you become my beast spirit, I shall restore your full strength. Having said that, I turned around with satisfaction and departed. Yet at that very moment, a realization suddenly struck me. That's right. If you become my beast soul, when I summon Ku forth, will it be the same as this? That is a matter of course. The radiant Saint Envoy replied without a moment's hesitation. No, that won't do at all. I waved my hands repeatedly and muttered, that's right. The radiant Saint Envoy possesses the power to restore xuanhuan's body. Why not attempt to use the radiant Saint Envoy to heal her? With this thought in mind, I hurried toward the room. Husband, seeing me enter, xuanhuan braced her hands, attempting to sit up. Stay lying down, please. Just stay lying down. I took a long stride forward, gently helping xuanhuan to sit up. Close your eyes. I am going to heal you. Husband, do you also possess knowledge of medicine? xuanhuan asked in surprise, yet she obediently closed her eyes. I stood upright and channeled the beast essence within my body. The next second, two beast souls appeared in my mind, the Howling Moon Silver Wolf and the Radiant Saint Envoy. I focused all of my attention upon the Radiant Saint Envoy. In the following moment, the Radiant Saint Envoy transformed into a beast soul, gradually manifesting behind my back, appearing like an angel standing behind me, arms folded across its chest. The Radiant Saint Envoy slowly opened its eyes, revealing a smile as the beast essence in my body merged with the beast soul. I gently extended my hands, and I saw the Radiant Saint Envoy behind me mimic the same movement. Then it gracefully reached down, lifting xuanhuan from the bed. The Radiant Saint Envoy emitted a soft radiance, enveloping xuanhuan's entire body. At this very moment, I let out a soft exclamation and suddenly opened my eyes wide. A beast master and their beast soul are linked by heart and mind. Through the beast soul, I could now clearly perceive the specific state of xuanhuan's body. I saw that a mass of black energy had condensed within xuanhuan's beast essence origin. This energy shrouded the beast essence origin, making it impossible to discern the true condition within. Moreover, judging by how the black energy had gathered within her body, this miasma had not been present. Every step she had taken from her youth had left its toll, accumulating within her body. As for the other abnormalities within xuanhuan's body, the holy envoy of light quickly restored them. Amidst my growing suspicions, I gently placed xuanhuan onto the bed, then retracted my beast soul, returning to my original form. xuanhuan's eyes widened in disbelief, yet she stood up as if nothing had ever happened. Husband, I feel much better now. Perhaps I am no longer as fragile as before. She had merely been frightened, and in truth there was nothing to worry about. I comforted her. Then I asked with lingering doubt, what was that black aura within your beast origin? Black aura? What black aura? xuanhuan asked, wearing a look of genuine confusion. Observing her expression, I surmised that she was likely completely oblivious to the matter, so I chose not to press the subject further. An idea immediately struck me. xuanhuan is now my wife. As her husband, it is my duty to understand the mysteries surrounding her. That's right, Yong'an County is not far from your hometown of Liyuan City. Shall we prepare today and set off for Luyuan City tomorrow? Truly. Hearing that she would soon return to her maiden home, xuanhuan was so overcome with excitement she nearly leaped for joy. Husband, do you truly wish to visit my home? Of course. We have yet to visit your family since our marriage. We shall prepare for the journey, and this will be a good opportunity. And I can also see for myself just how formidable my father-in-law is. Husband, you are so kind to me. Just the prospect of visiting her maiden home had brought xuanhuan such immense joy. I could not help but smile. In truth, however, my primary goal in going there was to uncover the nature of the affliction within xuanhuan's body. Having just arrived in Yang'an County, we did not have much to pack. During the evening meal, xuanhuan remained in high spirits, though she seemed somewhat distracted. As the sun set in the west and the moon climbed high, xuanhuan brought a basin of warm water, placed it before me, and gently removed my shoes. The warmth of the water allowed me to let out a long, relaxed sigh. Xuanhuan bowed her head, tending to my feet. There were no servants here, so my daily needs were all attended to by xuanhuan. Despite having once been a young lady of a great house, she performed these menial tasks with a charming clumsiness. Once my feet were dried, I lay down upon the bed. Not long after the lamps were extinguished, xuanhuan groped her way onto the bed. Like a docile cat, she nestled her head against my chest. Her shapely thighs wrapped tightly around me like an octopus. Even the slightest contact stirred a strange, undeniable sensation within me. The next moment, xuanhuan's eyes widened in disbelief, for she felt something pressing firmly against her. Recalling the night of our wedding, a flicker of anticipation stirred within her. As a woman, she could not be the one to initiate such matters. Fortunately, favorable opportunities have a way of appearing at just the right time. I rolled over, wrapping an arm around her, and we surrendered to the storm of passion that followed. An hour later, watching xuanhuan slumber peacefully in my embrace, I retreated into the beast prison once more, heading straight for the radiant Saint Envoy. I spoke, asking, "Today I sensed a strange black aura. Do you know what it is? The source of beastly power is the origin of all such energy within your kind. That black aura has evidently placed a seal upon that very source. That is why she has remained like an ordinary mortal, unable to awaken her beastly power or become a beast tamer." It was clear the radiant Saint Envoy knew something of the matter. Then tell me, is this an innate condition, or was it man-made? This was undoubtedly the work of men. That aura possesses a potent cohesive force, feeding upon the essence and blood energy within her body to maintain a permanent seal. I asked urgently. That aura feels remarkably similar to the energy exuded by the second prisoner. If you could awaken it, perhaps you could undo the seal. Hearing this, my eyes lit up, and I hurried toward the cage, holding the number 2 prisoner. A plaque clearly identified the beast within, the lustful ox demon. Inside the cage, a gargantuan bull, standing 10 meters tall and as massive as a mountain, lay motionless upon the ground. The howling silver wolf spoke. The higher the rank of the spirit beast, the greater the energy required to revive it. To revive the radiant Saint Envoy, a rank 8 beast, it only reached 1% restoration, but for the lustful ox demon, a rank 2 beast, one would surely need an item with at least 1,000 years of age. I exited the beast prison and promptly drifted into sleep. The next morning, I rose early to begin studying the yellow-tier mid-grade manual, Gale Steps. The contents of Gale Steps were not overly complex, divided into 2 sections, upper and lower. The upper section focused primarily on training the fundamental strength of the legs, while the lower section taught how to circulate soul power to the limbs, and how to combine these movements with a soul beast. Overconfident, I bypassed the basic leg training entirely and began practicing the circulation of soul power. The techniques described were cumbersome, but I devised a superior method, training with heavy weights. If one practices light body techniques while weighted down, the day those weights are shed, one can soar dozens of meters in a single leap. Xuanhuan was so lethargic that she began applying her makeup the moment she awoke. "Hanhuan, are you ready yet? We are heading into town to purchase some items to bring back for your father." My voice echoed from outside the door, and I paced back and forth in a leisurely manner. From within the room, Xuanhuan's voice replied, "Coming." Outside the door, I moved with the slow, deliberate pace of a snail. These iron boots appeared identical to ordinary footwear from the outside, yet they weighed a staggering 10 catties. It turns out that training equipment designed for weighted resistance is available in the shops on the street, sparing me the trouble of having a pair custom made. Approximately an hour later, Xuanhuan finally stepped out of the room. Upon seeing her appearance, my eyes immediately lit up. She was without question a radiant beauty. "My beloved wife, you look truly stunning." I did not hold back my praise. I stepped forward and lifted her chin to admire her features. Receiving such a compliment, Xuanhuan felt a deep sweetness in her heart, and a look of profound happiness washed over her face. After settling matters at the tavern, I summoned a carriage, and Xuanhuan and I set off on our journey. Meanwhile, the servant at the tavern, the one who had previously been in charge of the establishment, leaned against the main entrance, watching the carriage as it departed. "Brother Yang, I have finished the investigation." Have you uncovered everything? The man leaning against the doorframe asked coldly. Everything is clear. He is indeed the unfavored eldest young master of the Li family. He has remained a talentless waste for 10 years and has yet to awaken his cultivation. The servant from the Xuanhuan tavern, a faded yellow towel draped over his shoulder, spoke in a hushed tone. Lingyun City is hundreds of miles from Luyuan City, and Yong'an County lies on the outskirts of Luyuan City, thousands of miles away from Lingyun City. For the eldest young master of the Li family to be exiled to such a remote place, far from the reach of the emperor, it seems he has truly been cast aside. The man addressed as Brother Yang was responsible for the brewing of the spirits. Previously, he had managed the entire tavern himself. Every year when the Li family sent representatives to collect the accounts, he would fabricate the ledgers and deal with them perfunctorily, allowing him to line his own pockets with ease. Now that the Li family has dispatched a direct descendant to manage the estate, Brother Yang's path to wealth has been severed. That's right, Brother Yang. The servant suddenly recalled something. After they left, behold, can this be trusted? The servant extended his hand, and an ancient ring materialized within his palm. Upon seeing this, Yang's pupils constricted. He slowly reached out to take the object into his hand. A primordial ring. Only Primordial Beastmaster possesses a primordial ring capable of storing items. The servant trembled in sheer terror. Is this store manager truly a Beastmaster? No, that is impossible. Yongao shook his head in denial. If he were truly a Beastmaster, it would be impossible for the Li family to remain unaware of his existence. Yang suddenly recalled something. He rummaged through his pouch and produced a crumpled newspaper. Upon unfolding it, an image and a passage of text were revealed. The fallen genius of Ling City, Li Xiao, the first disciple of the Li family, perishes at Dragon Death Ridge. Within the report, an image of a familiar ring was clearly displayed. Ming looked at the newspaper, then back at the ring in his palm. This is Li Xiao's primordial ring. How could it be in his possession? As Yongge stood frozen in thought, the servant suddenly interrupted him. Yongge, they have departed from the city. Shall we take action? There is no need. I have a much better plan. Yongge wore a chilling smile before issuing his orders. Quickly ride out and deliver this ring to the Li family members in Lingyun City. Tell them it was discovered in Yong'an County, exactly as stated in the news report. Understood. The servant cast aside the yellow cloth and departed from the tavern. And county is under the jurisdiction of Liyuan City, a distance of over 100 miles. Given the slow pace of this carriage, it will likely take 2 days to arrive. Tell me, what is the primary business of your Su family, and what kind of people are your parents? Along the journey, I continuously inquired about xuanhuan's family background, ensuring I would be well prepared for any situation. However, at that very moment, a thought suddenly struck me. Since our time at Dragon Death Ridge, xuanhuan has never once asked about my soul beast. After all, as the daughter-in-law of a third-rate clan, it is impossible for her to be ignorant of soul beasts. Furthermore, prior to joining the Li family, she must have known certain things about me. For instance, that I was a useless individual incapable of awakening my soul power. If that is the case, why has xuanhuan never questioned me? Driven by curiosity, I turned to ask xuanhuan. Are you not curious? Curious about what? Curious as to why I possess a soul beast. It is because I understand what should be asked, and what must remain unspoken. Xuanhuan's sensibility caused a pang of heartache to stir within me. She smiled sweetly and said, if everyone knew the secrets of my husband's soul beast, how could you have attained your current status within the Li family? Since you have chosen to conceal it, you must have your own reasons. I will neither listen nor inquire. By remaining ignorant, I ensure that I will never become a burden or cause you harm. Xuanhuan's words struck a chord deep within my soul. The two of us sat huddled together in the carriage, holding each other tightly, but upon arriving at Luyuan City, I was met with chilling news. All 120 members of the Su family had been massacred. I felt an ominous, unsettling aura permeating the city air. Xuanhuan kept her hand clutched tightly in mine. Husband, do you hear what they are whispering about out there? It is nothing. We are almost there. My expression darkened, for upon entering the city, I had indeed heard that the 120 members of the Su family had been slaughtered in a single night. No one knew who the culprits were. By the time the city lord of Luyuan personally arrived with his men, the scene was already a river of blood. We turned the corner, and Su Manor came into view. At this moment, the entrance to the manor was swarming with soldiers. I lifted the carriage curtain to peer outside. My heart plummeted. Why are members of the Li family here as well? Turning to look at xuanhuan, I took a deep breath and said soothingly, whatever happens next, promise me you will not be afraid, can you? Xuanhuan seemed to sense the gravity of the situation. She did not answer, merely nodding in a daze. As we stepped off the carriage, the guards at the gate immediately surged forward. Who goes there? What is the meaning of this? Why are you standing guard at my family's doorstep? Xuanhuan, visibly shaken, attempted to step forward, but the guards raised their weapons, physically blocking her path. What are you doing? And this is my home. What do you intend to do? I stepped forward immediately, pointing at the guards and roaring in indignation. Just then, the members of the Lai family, who had been conversing with the captain of the guard, heard the commotion and approached us. It was the Great Elder. I had expected to see members of the Li family, but never did I imagine the Great Elder himself would appear. Li Yi, seize him for me. As the Great Elder issued his command, men immediately stepped forward to seize me. I did not resist. Instead, I lifted my head and demanded in fury, "What is the meaning of this?" The Great Elder let out a cold laugh and produced a ring from his sleeve. That ring belonged to Li Xiao, yet it was already empty, for I had transferred all its contents into the beast ring on my own hand. Upon seeing the ring, I immediately furrowed my brow. Was it not left behind at the inn in Yong'an County? Could it be? I instantly realized that the Li family must have had someone monitoring me at the inn. After I departed, they must have recovered this ring. This is your brother Li Xiao's ring. How do you explain this? The Great Elder asked in a stern, commanding tone. Explain what, exactly? I found this at Wanglong Cliff. I have no idea whose it is. Regardless of how the ring came into your possession, the death of your brother Li Xiao is inextricably linked to you. Take him back to the Li estate and let the patriarch interrogate him personally. Having spoken, the Great Elder ordered his men to release me, but what had transpired at the Su residence? I must see for myself. I roared. Upon hearing this, the Great Elder cast a glance towards xuanhuan before waving his hand to signal my release. xuanhuan and I stepped inside, tense and wary, but as we beheld the scattered corpses littering the courtyard, Hanhuan trembled and let out a harrowing cry. "Father! Mother!" She then rushed toward the main residence of the Su estate. Inside the main hall, the city lord of Liuyuan City and his subordinates were currently investigating the cause of death of the Su family. Her parents had already ceased breathing. Seeing that they had been slain by a single blade strike to the throat, xuanhuan embraced their bodies and wept bitterly. Witnessing this scene, I spun around and roared at the Lai family's Great Elder. You rely on a mere ring to suspect me of killing Li Xiao, yet you slaughtered the entire Su household for revenge? Do you even possess a shred of humanity? Finished with words, I grabbed a wooden stool and charged forward. I am but a commoner. Could I possibly have killed Li Xiao? You will all meet a miserable end. Seeing that I still accused the Li family of the murders, the Great Elder let out a mocking sneer. At that very moment, the city lord of Liuyuan City stepped forward to intercept me. The members of the Li family from Lingyun City arrived here just this morning. As for you killing the members of the Su family, according to our investigation, it must be the work of the Yingmi organization from the Great Chu dynasty. The Yingmi of Great Chu, why would they be here? Great Chu and Great Xia have been locked in constant warfare. How could their agents infiltrate the Great Xia territory? And why would they target an ordinary third-rate clan? I replied that Yingmi is an ancient assassin organization on the Tianyuan continent, frequently suppressed by the various nations. 10 years ago, their stronghold in Great Chu was eradicated by the Great Chu military. Recently, however, Yingmi has resurfaced within Great Xia. This suggests that their new base of operations has likely taken root here in Great Xia. This matter must be reported to the Great Xia imperial family. The city lord sighed. Since you have returned, ensure that you make proper funeral arrangements for them. Having said that, he led his men and departed. Very well, you are to come with us as well. The Great Elder commanded in a tone that brooked no refusal. Her father is dead. Will you not even see to their burial? I turned around and rebuked the Great Elder. The Great Elder, a man of several decades, stood with his face flushing red as I pointed my finger at his nose. How dare you insult a clan elder? You are courting death. The Great Elder raised his hand, intent on teaching me a lesson. At that precise moment, the city lord of Liuyuan City suddenly turned back and spoke. Elderly, since the Su family were in-laws to your clan, you should lend a helping hand. After all, they were your relations. To remain indifferent would surely invite ridicule from others, would it not? Glancing at me, the Great Elder concluded that I was merely an ordinary person incapable of causing trouble, and thus he gave his consent. Suze was draped in funeral white. Only xuanhuan and I wore mourning attire for them. xuanhuan and I inspected the house. All of the family assets remained untouched. This vast fortune, left solely to xuanhuan, was a burden a young girl like her could never hope to manage. Furthermore, I am her husband and a member of the Li family of Lingyun City, so unsurprisingly, the Su family's inheritance would eventually fall into my hands. I grasped the gravity of the situation and, that very evening, told xuanhuan to sell off the property, to prepare to flee and return to Lingyun City. Would that not be walking straight into a death trap? The Li family's demise was indeed my doing. A brief investigation upon my return would make it difficult for me to escape suspicion. Moreover, the Li family is teeming with experts. I fear that one glance from them would be enough to expose my secrets. I have cultivated soul power and become a beast tamer. Should it come to that, I would undoubtedly face a miserable death. Returning to Yong'an County is no longer an option. Yet with the vast estate of the Su family in our hands, There is no corner of the world where we cannot hide until the crescent silver wolf fully recovers. Once I ascend to the ranks of a gold-tier beastmaster, the Li family will no longer be a concern. Xuanhuan, while this tragedy was caused by the shadow demon, rest assured, I will surely exact vengeance for you in the future. Deep in the night, I stayed in the room to comfort Xuanhuan. By now, Xuanhuan had begun to recover from her grief, and her emotions had stabilized. The Li family has already grown suspicious of me, and will certainly come to apprehend me, but since I am indeed the one who committed the killings, I cannot return with them. Furthermore, the Su and Li families are connected by marriage. This massive fortune will inevitably fall into the hands of the Li family eventually. I instructed her to sell the assets, with the sole purpose of fleeing Luyuan City. The two of us, husband and wife, can wander the ends of the earth at our own leisure. One follows one's spouse regardless of the fate that awaits. Since I have married my husband, I must follow him through life and death. Wherever my husband goes, Xuanhuan will go as well. With her family no longer there to support her, Xuanhuan now looks to me as her sole pillar of strength. I told her to get some rest. We will depart at the crack of dawn. The Great Elder is a gold-tier beastmaster, and his strength is not to be underestimated. However, the guards stationed outside are not the Great Elder, but other retainers of the Lai family. Among these guards, only 2 are silver-tier beastmasters. Were I alone, I could easily slip away. But escorting Xuanhuan makes the situation somewhat difficult. That's right, Xuanhuan. The foundation of the Su family is quite substantial. I recall you finding many century-old medicinal herbs. Could you spare some for me? All the assets of the Su family were stored within the Origin Realm Ring in Xuanhuan's possession. I opened my mouth to ask for them, but when Xuanhuan moved to hand everything over to me, I declined. Her family has just passed away. She should keep this vast fortune for herself. As we are newly married, I feared she might harbor unspoken anxieties. If I were to take it, what if I were to abandon her later? It is better that she retains the wealth. It will provide her with more security. My words left Xuanhuan stunned, moved to the core. I then spoke up, requesting a portion of medicinal herbs. Suan did not hesitate, handing them all over to me without a second thought. Staring at such a vast collection of treasures, I licked my lips, wondering how much strength the Moonlight Silver Wolf might recover if I were to bestow all of these upon it. However, I cast that thought aside. The most pressing matter now was to revive the Shadow Bull demon so it could examine the condition of Xuanhuan's body. Once night had fallen, I sat by the window instead of retiring to bed. After Xuanhuan fell into a deep sleep, I entered the beast prison, clutching the medicinal herbs, and hurried toward the cell of the Shadow Bull demon. I surged into the body of the Shadow Bull demon. With bated breath, I stared intently at the Shadow Bull demon, but at that moment, the holy envoy of light suddenly spoke. Doing it that way will not resurrect that massive creature. What? She, put in a little more effort. Even if you lower the quality slightly, it matters not. Following the counsel of the holy envoy of light, the next second, the gargantuan beast with fur as black as pitch let out a low, guttural moan. Its breath, like a churning storm of gray and yellow, swept through the prison, carrying an unbearable stench that forced me to knit my brows in disgust. I felt the entire Imperial-grade prison tremble within the shadows, and a pair of blood-red eyes turned toward me. The next instant, the giant bull, standing 10 meters tall, slowly emerged from the darkness. Why am I still in this beast prison? The Shadow Bull demon emitted a piercing sound, echoing like the tolling of a great bell. Upon catching sight of me, it lowered its head, leveled its horns, and charged ferociously in my direction. Seeing this, I hurriedly retreated, stopping only when I reached the cell opposite. The massive horns slammed into the bars, causing the entire Imperial-grade prison to shudder 3 times. This fool dares to act so arrogantly in the presence of the prison master. Lord Prison Master, slay it. The holy envoy of light, eager to see chaos, began to incite me. But this creature had only just awakened and its actions were highly unstable. If I did not discipline it now, I feared it would never be brought to heel. Shadow Bull demon, know that I can revive you, and therefore I can just as easily destroy you, if you do not calm yourself. I pointed at the Shadow Bull demon and let out a roar, simultaneously unleashing a wave of overwhelming pressure toward it. The intense pressure caused the Shadow Bull demon to gradually calm down. Lord Warden, are you the new Lord Warden? Indeed. If you do not wish to perish, you would do well to obey my commands. I nodded. The bearing of the Warden was displayed with absolute perfection. Though the Shadow Bull demon is formidable, within this beast prison it harbors a profound fear of the Warden's existence. The Shadow Bull demon seeks to submit to you, Lord Warden. As long as you release me from this place, Lord Warden, whatever you command me to do, I shall do. Very well. Extremely satisfied with the Shadow Bull demon's attitude, I informed it of the condition of Xuanhuan's body. Black mist and my attributes are similar to those of human lifespans, the Shadow Bull demon muttered. Self-correction. The original text separates the mutter, continuing with the flow. What is the essence of what you speak of? Could it be the grave sealing technique? What is that? I asked hurriedly, filled with anticipation. It was clear that the Shadow Bull demon knew about the black mist. In the ancient era, when humanity was just beginning to rise, the Shadow Demon clan and mankind fought incessantly. But humans were incredibly cunning. They relied on the abilities of our Shadow Demon clan to master the dark energy themselves. Among these, the grave sealing technique was one such ability. The grave sealing technique can seal the aura of a human, preventing beasts from sensing it. The method of execution involves mobilizing dark energy, sealing the source of their lifespan so that others cannot perceive the mysteries within. However, over time those who obtain shadow arts began to lose their own nature. They resorted to consuming human brains to harvest memories, aiming to rediscover their true selves. But the more they did so, the more malevolent they became. Even we of the Shadow Demon clan had to retreat from them. Then, was this technique cast by someone else, or? My expression grew increasingly grave. If what the Shadow Bull demon said was true, and this was merely a type of sealing art, then who exactly had been concealing xuanhuan's aura? That is of course not the case. The true proof of testimony can only be cast by oneself, for the sealing of one's lifespan is a perilous endeavor that permits no external influence. Upon hearing this, I was struck with astonishment. Could it be that she cast it upon herself? If that were truly the case, then was the demonic barrier sealing xuanhuan also cast by her own hand? This simply cannot be. This will not do. I must depart at once. Please, see for yourself and tell me if it is indeed a magical barrier. Having said that, I immediately exited the beast prison. xuanhuan was fast asleep on the bed. I quietly channeled my beast essence and summoned my beast soul. The very next moment, the phantom of the Shadow Bull demon materialized behind me, though I retracted the soul in the blink of an eye. At that precise instant, the corners of xuanhuan's eyes twitched slightly, but I remained entirely oblivious to her, mindful of those keeping watch outside. Thus I allowed the Shadow Bull demon to observe for a brief moment before commanding it to retreat, and I promptly returned to the beast prison. I stood before the second cell, identifying the demonic barrier. I am intimately familiar with dark energy. The black mist coalescing within the beast origin realm of that young girl was unmistakably dark energy. Its refusal to dissipate confirmed it as a demonic barrier, and it was surely cast by the girl herself, as she clearly does not wish for others to perceive her true strength. I approached the Shadow Bull demon, and before I could even utter a word, it struck its chest to assure me. I remained silent, offering only a single nod, before making my way to the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. I retrieved all the remaining precious medicinal herbs, refined them into pure energy, and channeled the entirety of it into the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. This pure energy served to restore the strength of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. In an instant, its recovery rate reached 10%. 10% is equivalent to the power of a 1,000-year level beast soul. To summon the Howling Moon Silver Wolf is effectively to summon a 1,000-year beast soul. Naturally, as an ancient spirit beast, the strength the Howling Moon Silver Wolf can unleash far exceeds that of an ordinary 1,000-year beast soul. Having concluded these tasks, I departed the beast prison once more. In the room lit by the glow of a single candle, I opened my eyes and turned to look at the slumbering xuanhuan, a newfound sense of caution rising within me toward her. Why did she have to manifest demonic incantations? How could she possibly know such demonic arts? What is it that she is hiding? Demonic incantations are manifestations of dark energy, the very power of the Shadow Demon clan. How did xuanhuan come to possess such knowledge? Wait, a thought suddenly struck me. The ancient assassination organization, the Shadow Specters, is but a branch of the Shadow Demon clan. I turned my head abruptly to look at xuanhuan, who lay motionless upon the bed, and my entire body tensed instantly. Could it be that a deranged suspicion was taking root in my mind? It cannot be. That is impossible. How could she possibly have slain her own parents? Even if she had, for what reason would she commit such an act? Innumerable chaotic thoughts raced through my mind in rapid succession. After a long while, I slowly calmed the frantic thoughts swirling within me. Regardless of the truth, she has shown no intention of bringing me harm. With this realization, I let out a soft sigh of relief. At that moment, xuanhuan, lying on the bed, slowly opened her eyes. Behind her half-lidded gaze, a cold glimmer flashed. At dawn, I gently roused xuanhuan from her sleep. My wife. Xuanhuan slowly opened her sleepy eyes. Husband, are you planning to depart now? Prepare yourself. We leave at once. I glanced toward the door. The guards outside had leaned against the wall and fallen into a deep slumber. In the early hours of the morning, people are often lost in their deepest sleep. This is the moment when departure is least likely to be detected. They remained slumped against the doorframe, fast asleep. It was impossible to exit through the main gate. I opened the window softly and removed the iron boots from my feet, storing them within the beast realm. Barefoot, I hoisted xuanhuan onto my back and silently climbed out. Moving without footwear, I did not produce a single sound. Last night I had already scouted an escape route with xuanhuan. The Su estate possesses a back gate, However, as I carried xuanhuan to the back gate, I discovered that it too was heavily guarded. Husband, take this path. Xuanhuan whispered into my ear, pointing toward a narrow trail leading to the rear courtyard. I followed the path until I reached a secluded, quiet compound. The courtyard was enclosed, and scaling the wall from here would allow us to escape unnoticed. Surveying the wall, which stood nearly 2 meters high, I channeled the beast energy within my body, concentrating it into my legs. The Gale Steps technique was activated. With a single stride, I surged forward 3 meters to the wall and launched myself upward. I cleared the 2-meter barrier with ease. Beyond the wall lay a narrow, desolate alleyway. I continued to carry xuanhuan, fleeing the city with haste. Meanwhile, inside the City Lord's manor, City Lord Liu Yuan opened his eyes slightly upon hearing his subordinate's report. They have departed? Yes, City Lord, they have left. A mysterious man clad in black robes, kneeling on one knee, spoke in a low, grave voice. Follow them, eliminate the Li family members, and bring xuanhuan back to me. Understood. The mysterious figure bowed his head in obedience. But City Lord, are you truly certain that xuanhuan is a member of the Shadow Ghoul clan? We had only just begun our investigation into the Su family when they were wiped out. Is this not highly suspicious? The City Lord spoke with chilling confidence. Furthermore, this xuanhuan was diagnosed with a terminal illness 10 years ago, yet she has survived until this day. I suspect this xuanhuan is certainly not the same girl as before. It is said that the eternal shadow ghouls possess the ability to absorb the memories of others. They possess intellect and power that far surpass our own. If I can seize their power, not even this great Sha Empire shall escape my grasp. The City Lord is truly formidable. I shall depart at once to capture this shadow ghoul. At this moment, I was carrying xuanhuan, sprinting frantically outside Luyuan City. I had already set my goal the previous night, to head straight for the Great Chu Empire. Since ancient times, leaving one's borders has been the most effective way to evade peril, yet crossing the front lines to reach Great Chu is no simple feat. However, I believe that money can move mountains. Once I reach the front lines, I will surely find a way. It is said that at the front lines there exists a group of people who specialize in smuggling individuals across the border. There are those in Great Xia or Great Chu who commit crimes, and, seeking to escape the reach of local law, attempt to flee to neighboring nations. Thus, these border crossers came into existence to meet that demand. As dawn began to break, the beast energy within my body was nearing exhaustion. Utilizing the Gale Step at maximum speed, I covered over 100 miles before finally coming to a halt. Meanwhile, in Luyan City, the great elder of the Li family had arrived at my doorstep early that morning. For today was the final deadline, and I was compelled to return with him. The great elder ordered his men to knock, but the door remained locked from within, yielding no response. After 3 strikes upon the door, the great elder furrowed his brows. The very next second, he stepped forward and kicked the door off its hinges. Upon discovering that the room was completely deserted, the great elder was struck with astonishment. Elsewhere, I avoided the main roads, opting to travel only through narrow paths. Yet, despite my precautions, I heard the rapid thundering of horse hooves approaching from behind. Damnation, they have caught up far too quickly. Alarmed, I hurriedly led xuanhuan into the dense forest nearby. Dozens of men dressed in black, their faces concealed by hoods and masks, arrived at the scene. When they reached the spot where we were hiding in the woods, they halted in surprise. As we remained concealed in the forest, I was taken aback. How could they have tracked us down so easily? One of them scanned the surroundings and immediately locked eyes with xuanhuan and me. They were not men of the Li family. Xuanhuan whispered into my ear from behind. Hearing this, I observed them closely and confirmed that they were indeed not from the Li family's great elder. These men exuded a sharp, focused energy, their movements fluid and precise. One look was enough to tell they were seasoned experts. Upon spotting us hiding in the woods, their leader wasted no words, vaulting off his horse to issue an order. Attack! With that command, the dozens of men drew their weapons and surrounded the forest. Good sirs, spare our lives. We have wealth we can offer you. Isn't the goal of your trade simply to seek profit? Let us settle this peacefully. We shall give you our gold, if you would only grant us mercy. However, my words fell upon deaf ears. They paid no heed whatsoever. Ghosts swept across the group, and I realized their intent was clear. They were targeting me. But then, I noticed that their eyes were not fixed on me at all, but rather on xuanhuan behind me. Recalling my suspicions regarding xuanhuan from the previous night, I began to harbor doubts of my own. These men were likely here for her. At the signal, the group lunged forward without the slightest hesitation. I hurriedly set xuanhuan down and watched them with a wary, vigilant gaze. The strongest among them were silver-rank beastmasters, 3 of them, to be exact, while the rest were bronze rank, posing little threat. Early in the morning in this desolate wilderness, far from the main road, I had nothing to fear. Glaring coldly at these men, I spoke in a low voice. If negotiation is impossible, then do not blame me for showing you no mercy. As I finished speaking, I channeled the beast essence within my body. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf was summoned, manifesting as a white phantom behind me. A wolf's howl echoed across the expanse, causing the dozen beastmasters who were about to charge to come to a sudden halt. They looked up at the silhouette behind me in utter disbelief. The massive pure white wolf, standing 8 meters tall, glared down at each of them with vicious intent. Sensing the overwhelming pressure radiating from the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, the 3 lead silver rank beastmasters cried out in terror. 1,000-year beast soul? Are you not the trash of the Lee family? Are you not supposed to be a mere commoner? How could you also be a beastmaster, and one who possesses a 1,000-year beast soul at that? While the crowd was gripped by panic, a few remained composed. Not be afraid, everyone. A 1,000-year beast soul is indeed formidable, but look closely, he's merely a black iron rank beastmaster. His synchronization rate with the beast soul cannot be high, and he is incapable of unleashing the true power of such a spirit. Let us attack together and kill him. At those words, the others recovered their senses. Amidst the roars of their own spirits, they unleashed their respective beast souls. Yet compared to the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, these beast souls were nothing more than mere hatchlings. I had achieved perfect synchronization with my beast soul, reaching 100% compatibility. As I aligned my movements with the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, its massive claws struck forward, and with jaws wide as a blood basin, it tore apart the beast souls of 2 men and swallowed them whole. Perfect synchronization. A bronze rank beastmaster witnessed this and screamed in terror. But in the next second, just as they prepared to combine their strength, a single gesture from me changed everything. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf lunged forward, surging directly from behind me. Terrified, the men panicked and turned to flee, shouting as they scrambled away. The beast soul has left its host. Even a silver rank beastmaster would have to flee, retreat immediately. Dozens of them fled in a frenzy, but before a Moon-Howling Silver Wolf that had fully manifested, they were utterly defenseless. However, xuanhuan silently approached one of the corpses. I watched as her lips parted slightly, and from the crown of the corpse's head, a wisp of white smoke emerged, drifting directly into xuanhuan's mouth to be swallowed. Having dealt with these men, I retracted my beast soul and walked over to xuanhuan's side. Xuanhuan, are you all right? My husband. I am unharmed. Xuanhuan offered a sweet smile. It seemed that after the previous ordeal, her mental fortitude had grown significantly. I laughed with satisfaction and said, "You have become much stronger, so you will no longer be a burden to your husband." Xuanhuan tilted her head, a charming expression on her face. Witnessing this scene, I could not help but be captivated by her, thinking to myself that even if she harbored secrets in her heart, it mattered little as long as she intended no harm. I then moved toward the fallen men and began to search them. "Husband, let me assist you." Xuanhuan followed behind me, also searching the bodies. However, since I was in front and Xuanhuan was behind me, I remained completely unaware of what she was doing. Each time Xuanhuan passed a corpse, her lips would slightly part, and a wisp of white smoke would emerge, to be swallowed into her belly. After a short search, I recovered 6 or 7 origin rings from their bodies. Origin rings are extremely precious, not just anyone can possess one. For a group of dozens, finding 6 or 7 of these rings was quite reasonable. We should not linger here. Let us depart quickly and see what treasures lie within these rings. With those words, I mounted one of their horses, and Xuanhuan and I rode away from the scene. Shortly after we departed, another group of dozens, all dressed in black, arrived at the site. The leader rode a tall, dark red steed, his presence commanding and stern. Upon seeing the corpses along the road, he immediately dismounted and began his inspection. "Lord City Master, this was the work of a beast tamer. The origin rings on their persons are all missing." One of his subordinates finished checking the bodies and reported back. The man remained silent, turning over one of the corpses, and a moment later, he took a deep, steady breath. He spoke slowly, refining essence into vapor. "The rank of this shadow demon is not low." "Essence into vapor, Lord City Master? What does that mean?" "Ancient shadow demons absorb the brains and memories of their victims. But a high-level shadow demon can extract the memories of its target, without needing to crack the skull. Clearly, the rank of this shadow demon is far from ordinary." Having said this, the city master slowly stood up. "But that is all the better. If I can consume this shadow demon, I will be able to obtain its full range of abilities and all the memories it has devoured. That is far more formidable than a common shadow demon." Yet, surveying the horrific scene before him, the city lord furrowed his brows. The 3 silver-tier beastmasters perished here, which proves that this shadow demon possesses immense strength. We must not confront it head-on. After a moment of contemplation, the city lord chuckled. Was the eldest son of the Lee family not nearby? If there are no surprises, the eldest son of the Lai family has likely been controlled by this shadow demon. It seems Xuanhuan married into the Lee family merely to secure a safer refuge. Report what has occurred here to the Lai family immediately. Let them seek them out first, and then we shall strike. Understood, city lord. The city lord departed immediately, but before he could reach Liuyuan City, he encountered the great elder of the Li family on the road. Elderly, you have arrived at a truly opportune moment. The eldest son of your Li family has fled, and despite my men pursuing him throughout the night, they could not catch him. He is a mere mortal. How could you and your men fail to catch him, City Lord? The great elder asked, unable to conceal his disbelief. The devious City Lord mused for a moment before speaking. He is feigning weakness to prey on the strong. He is in fact a beastmaster. Otherwise, how could he have killed your Li family's Jin's beastmaster, Li Xiao? Upon hearing this, the great elder was instantly incensed. It was indeed him, and he immediately ordered a report to be sent to the patriarch. However, what the Liyuan City Lord did not expect was for the Li family's great elder to lead his men to turn back. He did not send word to the Li family beforehand to initiate a pursuit. Instead, he commanded them all to return together. Elder Li, are you no longer giving chase? The City Lord asked, bewildered. Chase? Why bother? Who knows where he has run off to now? The great elder replied with feigned indifference. Nothing of the sort. We shall take our leave. The Liyuan City Lord racked his brain, unable to comprehend the situation. But for the great elder, any excuse to return and fulfill his duty was sufficient. Li Xiao was the son of the patriarch. If nothing went awry, the future of the Li family would have rested in his hands. But now that he has been killed, the succession of the Li family will have to fall to another. He himself is the great elder, and his own grandson recently awakened a 3-stage beast power. He is the only one who can rival Li Xiao. Although he is only 6 years old, if nurtured properly, his future is promising. Would the great elder be foolish enough to capture him and bring him back? After all, both are of the patriarch's lineage. One is dead, and the other is no longer the useless, talentless person he once was. Even if the clan head is furious, he cannot simply strike down his own son. Furthermore, having already become a beast tamer, if the clan head were to appoint another successor, would all my efforts not have been in vain? Therefore, he only needs to return now, and magnify my alleged crimes 100-fold. Using the most exaggerated descriptions to force the clan head to disown this son, and my own grandson would then have the chance to ascend as the successor. Meanwhile, I have already arrived at a different city, accompanied by xuanhuan. In this world, there is no internet, no telephones, and cities are separated by hundreds of miles. Here, the two of us need not fear being recognized by anyone. My lady, let us rest here for a day before we set out again. I am utterly exhausted. Upon entering the inn, we instructed them to bring water for bathing. Having had no respite for days, I soon fell into a deep slumber with xuanhuan. Outside, the sound of a night watchman's clapper echoed. It was already the 3rd watch of the night. In the depths of the darkness, xuanhuan suddenly opened her eyes. Within the pitch-black room, a faint, eerie green light flickered in her eyes as she slowly sat up. xuanhuan gazed down at me as I slept soundly beside her, and opened her mouth slightly. A plume of white smoke drifted out, then was drawn into my body with each of my breaths. Having completed this, xuanhuan donned her robes and stepped outside. In the absolute darkness where one could not even see their own hand, only a pair of sinister green eyes remained visible. xuanhuan's pale green eyes seemed to pierce through the night, allowing her to effortlessly navigate around any obstacle in the room. Gently unlatching the window, xuanhuan drifted silently out into the night. Not far away, a window to another building stood ajar, revealing only darkness within. xuanhuan glided into the room as silent as a shadow. The room appeared vacant, yet as xuanhuan entered, she moved with the grace of a phantom. A voice suddenly echoed. Greetings, leader. The city lord of Liyuan has been slain by the great Xia's Demon Suppression Bureau. Upon entering, xuanhuan's voice became cold and ominous, a stark contrast to her usual demeanor. Within the darkness, a shadowy figure flickered in and out of sight. After hearing xuanhuan's report, the figure trembled, replying in a low voice, "The matter concerning this, whoever is responsible for this, end your own life." This subordinate acknowledges his failure, but the strange thing is that there was more than one shadow in the room. Yet, the moment this person finished speaking, a flash of sword intent illuminated the room. Immediately after, a severed head fell to the floor, dissipating into a wisp of black smoke upon impact. I had assumed he was merely an ordinary man, whose identity could serve as a cover for my infiltration. But it seems he harbors secrets of his own. xuanhuan looked toward the guest room, a sinister smile tugging at the corners of her lips. If there are no surprises, that Howling Moon Silver Wolf must be an ancient beast, and that winged angelic figure, along with that colossal minotaur radiating dark energy. They are all ancient spirit beasts, are they not? Leader, based on your description in our records, that angelic figure is likely the wicked radiant Saint Envoy. The minotaur must be the ancient obsession bull demon. 3 ancient spirit beasts. My husband is truly an intriguing man. xuanhuan's alluring eyes flashed, lost in her own schemes. 3 ancient beast souls, if only we could harness them. Do you wish for me to kill him? xuanhuan leaned slightly, a cold light flickering in her eyes. The shadow in the corner of the room immediately bowed, pressing its forehead to the ground. This subordinate would not dare, but he detected the demonic energy within my body. He spoke of taking me back to the Su family, but in truth he is probing the state of my existence. This shows he still cares for me, but since this matter cannot be concealed, everyone in the Su family must perish. Furthermore, that obsession bull demon might know of my origins. In other words, he, my husband, likely knows as well, yet he shows no sign of hostility, nor does he demand an explanation as to why. Could he truly have fallen in love with me? Such pathetic human emotions. All unstable factors are but obstacles to the grand cause of my yin demon race. After a sigh, xuanhuan issued the command. The time is ripe. Prepare to execute the luring the flower and attracting the butterfly plan. I want the thousands of sects in this great empire to leave their strongholds and reinforce the border. My yin demons will consume their memories and seize the secret scrolls of every sect. Within a moment, the room returned to silence. Xuanhuan drifted out of the window like a phantom. Upon returning to the bedroom and seeing me fast asleep, she lay down quietly beside me. The next day, I pulled back the blankets and stretched comfortably. It felt magnificent. Why was that sleep so deep? Beside me, Xuanhuan rubbed her sleepy eyes and slowly opened them. Husband, did you sleep well last night? After several days of fatigue, I slept soundly throughout the night. Looking at my expression, there was not a hint of suspicion to be found. Xuanhuan acted coquettishly, spreading her arms wide and demanding, "Carry me up." Why get up? A year begins with spring, just as a day begins with the morning. The early hours are best suited for training, so we must exert ourselves. If my husband has the desire to stretch his limbs, then let us rise quickly. Xuanhuan braced her hands, intending to sit up. My dear wife, you are unaware. The most effective method of cultivation and the finest location for it is in fact right here on the bed. I spoke with a wicked grin, then leaned in to press my weight against Xuanhuan. Furthermore, this method of cultivation lasts for half an incense stick of time, and it is remarkably effective. Can there truly be such a miraculous method of cultivation in this world? My husband, tell me quickly. I have never heard of such a thing. Xuanhuan displayed an expression of pure naive curiosity. Looking into those eyes, clear as a mountain spring, I could discern no trace of hidden intent. If only she were truly ignorant of the demonic arts, and truly unaware of the condition of her own body, how good that would be. If only she were merely a common daughter of the Su clan, how fortunate that would be. Looking at Xuanhuan, who was inches away, so close that our noses nearly touched, I pondered in the silence of my heart. If that were truly the case, I would stake my life in this existence to grant her the greatest happiness and security. It is a pity that she continues to conceal her nature. My husband, what are you thinking about? You still have not answered me. Xuanhuan suddenly interrupted my train of thought. This cultivation method of mine can train you to the point where your legs grow weak and your spirit is thoroughly exhausted. Xuanhuan's face gradually flushed crimson, seemingly guessing the implications. She shyly turned her head away and lightly struck my chest with her small fists. My husband is truly detestable. You only know how to tease me. I will tell you, my cycle arrives in 2 days. If it does not come, it means that I am with child. With what? I was momentarily bewildered, not understanding what she meant by a cycle. How detestable. I mean my monthly flow. I was immediately struck by a moment of panic, but realization dawned on me shortly thereafter. What was I afraid of? I am already married. This is a natural occurrence. It is nothing that cannot be spoken of. Thinking back to when my girlfriend told me she had missed her cycle, I was terrified to the core. Is that so? But it matters not. If we truly had a child, we would find a secluded place to live a life of peace. Indeed. Xuanhuan's eyes were filled with such yearning and anticipation for that kind of life. One's eyes cannot deceive. They are the windows that reflect one's truest emotions. At that moment, I suddenly chose to accept the secrets Xuanhuan was keeping from me. If it truly was nothing that harmed others for selfish gain, then living like this was perfectly fine. Having thought this, I leaned down gently. An hour later, I climbed out of bed, gasping for breath. At that very moment, a knock sounded at the door. Guest, your room rental time is nearly up. Would you like to extend your stay? No, prepare a lunch for us. We shall depart once we have finished eating. As the servant's footsteps faded into the distance, Xuanhuan and I began to dress. It was then that I suddenly noticed a tiny sun-shaped black tattoo on Xuanhuan's chest. Had I not paid close attention, it would have been impossible to discover. I had never noticed it before, because every time we spent the night together, we did so in the darkness, leaving it unseen. Having just woken up, I suddenly noticed this small anomaly. However, I did not voice my question, choosing instead to memorize the mark. I intended to investigate it when the opportunity arose. Once dressed, the two of us washed up and went downstairs to prepare for our meal. The scale of this inn was decent, spanning 3 stories. The first floor was for commoners to dine and drink. The second floor was reserved for those of some status, offering private rooms. The third floor housed the guest quarters. As Xuanhuan and I sat down, the servant had already laid out the food. Everything was ready to be eaten, and the service was quite commendable. But at that moment, I suddenly noticed that the number of people dining on the second floor seemed significantly higher than usual. Furthermore, many among them wore uniforms, appearing to be members of some organization. Who could they be? I looked around in curiosity and whispered, they might be disciples from some great beast-taming sect. Xuanhuan tilted her head, resting her chin on her palm, and contemplated. The Su family once had dealings with a beast-taming sect. I have seen them before, and they looked just like these people. So, it was them. I nodded, lost in thought, though a hint of suspicion lingered in my mind. Yet, I had heard that the beast-taming sect typically disdained worldly affairs, focusing solely on their cultivation. Why would they suddenly appear before everyone now? We shall listen closely to their words, and the truth will soon be revealed. Xuanhuan tilted her head in a charming gesture, listening in silence. Huju Pass has fallen, the Great Zhou army is closing in, and bandits are infiltrating to sow chaos. It seems this mission is quite complex. However, the rewards are far more generous than usual. A mission reward 10 times greater than the standard. Risk it all once, and a century's worth of beast souls could be traded for a millennium's gain. But I heard that the Great Xia Supreme sects have formed a coalition because of this. Is there any truth to that? As citizens of Great Xia, when the nation faces such a crisis, the Supreme sects must naturally unite to form an alliance and better coordinate our forces. I continued to eat while listening, finally grasping the gravity of the situation. With the realm descending into turmoil, husband, do you not wish to carve out a legacy of your own? Xuanhuan looked at me with expectation. The Great Xia Imperial clan has not yet faltered. How can one call this a time of turmoil? I shook my head, dismissing the notion. Though the Great Zhou currently harasses us from the south, the Great Shang lingers in the north, waiting for their chance. Even within the borders of Great Xia, savage bandits run rampant, and the barbarian tribes in the west refuse to remain quiet. How could this not be considered an age of chaos? I looked at Xuanhuan with a touch of surprise, for her analysis of the current situation was remarkably astute. Reflecting on the secrets I suspected she was keeping from me, I feigned ignorance and asked, if it were you, how would you proceed? Xuanhuan's eyes darted with cleverness. The fastest path is to join the Great Xia Imperial clan and earn merit, but that is fraught with danger. Alternatively, one could join those sects, but I hear their entry requirements are exceedingly high. However, I believe acting on one's own is superior. I was momentarily stunned by her suggestion to act alone. You hold me in too high a regard. In my eyes, my husband is the most formidable of all. Xuanhuan spoke with pride. What are these so-called imperial clans or sects? None of them can compare to my husband. You say that, but tell me, just how formidable am I exactly? I asked with a mischievous smirk. Yet, as our conversation continued unabated, those at the surrounding tables cast sharp glares in our direction. You two shameless wretches. Do you have the guts to repeat what you just said? A man slammed his hand on the table and stood up, pointing at me with fierce aggression. Who are these people? They are members of the beast-taming sect. In the imperial capital, their sect status is second only to the imperial clan itself. Not only did these people show contempt for the sect, but they also insulted the imperial clan. Is this not an invitation to death? I realized immediately that I had spoken out of turn, but upon hearing his response, my expression darkened instantly. He slowly turned his head to look at me, asking coldly, "What did you say?" I said that you two, this pair of man and woman, dare to show such contempt for our sect and insult the imperial family. It seems you are truly tired of living. Before he could finish his sentence, I channeled my beast essence to execute the Gale Steps. While the others had yet to react, I surged forward and struck him across the face. He was left utterly dazed, his eyes widening as he stared at me from his seat. Damn it, you dare strike me? Do you even know who I am? Crash. 4 or 5 men at the same table immediately surrounded the two of us. Su-Han, trembling with fear, instinctively huddled into my arms. Senior brother, these two seem suspicious. They might be spies sent from Great Chu. Indeed, daring to insult the imperial family and the great sects. No one else would have the gall to do so. Kill them. As he finished speaking, one of them reached out to grab me. Channeling his internal energy, he threw a punch with explosive force, while the other seized the opportunity to rush towards Xuanhuan. I slammed my hand on the table and rose to my feet, holding Xuanhuan with one arm while gripping the nearest attacker with the other. At that very moment, as I stood up, the phantom of a howling silver moon wolf manifested behind me. As I reached out with my right hand, the foreclaw of the howling silver moon wolf lunged forward with ferocious intensity. With one swing of the massive spectral claw, the man was sent flying. He was thrown 5 or 6 meters, slamming into the wall before collapsing and shattering another table. Daring to touch my wife is a sure way to court death. I gently placed Xuanhuan behind me for protection, then turned to face the remaining 4 men standing by the window alone. Su-Han watched me, her eyes filled with disbelief at my sudden outburst of rage. Beneath that expression, seemingly innocent and tinged with fear, lay a sliver of cold calculation. The eyes of an ordinary person could not possibly convey such a complex array of emotions simultaneously. Yet Xuanhuan could, for she had consumed the memories of countless souls. She could rely on those stolen memories to manifest any natural expression without rousing suspicion, even through her gaze. Xuanhuan had not expected me to engage in combat for her sake without uttering a single word. My declaration that those who touch my wife are courting death had in truth touched a hidden, seductive part of her heart. This display of pure impulsive fervor was merely an irrational symptom of falling in love. Perhaps, once this passion faded, he would no longer treat me with such devotion. Relying on the memories of those she had consumed, Xuanhuan projected what my attitude toward her might become in the future. However, seeing that I dared to strike a member of the sect, Xuanhuan instantly formulated a scheme to manipulate me. Contemplate the plan unfolding before her, a devious, unmasked smile crept across Xuanhuan's face. At that very moment, a sect disciple managed to dodge my attack, and his gaze fell upon Xuanhuan. Xuanhuan noticed this individual as well, yet she remained entirely indifferent, deliberately allowing him to approach her. If you kill my sect's disciple, I will make you pay for that blood debt with your own. Once he drew near, the sect disciple unleashed a blazing, sinister beast soul behind him, roaring as he charged madly towards Xuanhuan. Xuanhuan stood perfectly still, showing no concern for his incoming strike. Just as the beast soul descended upon her, she let out a piercing, tragic cry. "Husband!" Following that pained scream, Xuanhuan was forcefully slammed against the wall. I heard the commotion, only to realize that the heat of battle had drawn me away from her. Seeing Xuanhuan collapse to the ground, unable to rise, a surge of fury consumed me. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf let out a deafening roar, its massive jaws snapping the head off the man's colossal white tiger beast soul before swallowing it whole. Immediately thereafter, I executed the Gale Step technique. This was the Gale Step amplified by the fusion of my beast soul. In the blink of an eye, I arrived at Xuanhuan's side. After lifting her up, I discovered that Xuanhuan had fallen unconscious. Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, slaughter them all, leave no one alive. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, previously fused with my body, suddenly manifested multiple projections, tearing the remaining sect disciples to pieces. By now, the entire second floor of the inn was completely devoid of life. Witnessing this, I withdrew my beast soul and carried Xuanhuan away from the inn. Even though we remained within the city, I felt no fear, though Xuanhuan's condition hindered my movements. If I were to attract the city lord's guards, it would undoubtedly become a significant nuisance. Emerging from the city, I ran with frantic speed until I reached a dilapidated temple 30 miles away, and immediately summoned the Holy Messenger of Light. I began to administer treatment to Xuanhuan. It was at this exact moment that the voice of the Holy Messenger of Light echoed within my mind. "Master, these are merely superficial wounds. They are not severe enough to cause a coma." I felt a slight stirring in my heart, yet I paid no mind to the voice of the Guangming city envoy. I knew there was something amiss with Xuanhuan, but to this day, her true identity remained a mystery. For what purpose was she hiding by my side? These were all matters that I needed to clarify. Just then, Xuanhuan let out a soft moan and slowly opened her eyes. "Husband, where are we?" Looking around in a daze, Xuanhuan was suddenly startled and began anxiously checking me over. "Husband, are you all right? Did those people from the sect not harm you?" Watching Xuanhuan's worried expression, I sighed inwardly. If all of this was merely an act, then how truly pathetic I must be. To be honest, I was moved the moment I met Xuanhuan on our wedding day. A refined and virtuous young lady of quality, gentle and occasionally playful. Being in her company was always comfortable and joyful. I enjoyed being with Xuanhuan, so even now, knowing she was concealing secrets from me, I had no desire to pursue the truth. "It is fine, we have already left the city." I feared the city lord's men would pursue us, so I made haste to flee. I do not know which beast-taming sect those people belonged to. If they were from a superior-grade beast-taming sect, then we are in serious trouble, Xuanhuan said anxiously. "I heard my father mention that the Great Xia dynasty has countless beast-taming sects, divided into 3 tiers, superior, middle, and inferior. They have very strict requirements for the beast power level of a beast tamer. When recruiting disciples, one must have at least tier 3 beast power to even be considered for entry. Furthermore, upon joining, the sect will assist you in selecting and capturing a suitable beast soul. Only a compatible beast soul can properly unleash the signature beast techniques of their sect." I offered a bitter smile. Why did I feel as though I knew even less than her? I was completely ignorant of these matters. I only heard my father mention it in passing, Xuanhuan explained. And the two of us rested for a while in the dilapidated temple before preparing to set off once more. Our next destination was the Beast King Ridge. Because the Juhu Pass had been destroyed, that region had become a war-torn zone. Beast King Ridge was located at a fortress behind the Juhu Pass. At this moment, soldiers and sect members were all heading to the Beast King Ridge to provide reinforcements. That place could truly be described as a chaotic battlefield. The primordial demon beasts within the beast territory required energy to recover. It was the only place where one could gather a vast number of beast souls. Just at this moment, a chaotic sound of footsteps suddenly echoed outside the temple. I immediately rose to investigate. Upon seeing the group approaching from the distance, my expression shifted instantly. I never expected that they would catch up to us so quickly after our arrival. Wife, hide behind the statue. Once I have dealt with these people, we shall depart. I turned around in haste, concealing xuanhuan behind the statue. As the group reached the exterior of the ruined temple, I walked straight out to meet them. That's him, one man, dressed differently from the other sect disciples, pointed at me and said, "There is still a woman, she must be inside the temple." This man must have been one of the observers from earlier, likely hailing from a different sect. There were 12 of them in total. I cast a quick glance and realized there was a golden beastmaster among them. "You are the one who slaughtered the disciples of my Huxiao sect." The middle-aged man with the thick beard was the golden beastmaster who had stirred my vigilance. "Huxiao sect, you say? You humiliated my wife and me, bullying us with your status. Do you expect us to sit idly by and accept such abuse?" I stood tall, retorting with a look of utter contempt. "How dare you kill disciples of the Huxiao sect? Seize him and bring him back to the sect for interrogation." Immediately, with a metallic clash, over a dozen figures lunged forward to surround me. Sect disciples are notoriously difficult to handle. I already had some experience. Their strength lies in their mastery of various beast techniques. Beast techniques allow them to manipulate and unleash beastly power with lethal precision. This realization made me feel the strain instantly. If only I could master a few more beast techniques myself, I thought to myself. As the dozen men closed in, only the golden beastmaster stood off to the side, observing with a cold gaze. I licked my lips and let out a predatory grin. This was not bad at all. If I were to devour all of you, the recovery progress of my Xiaoyu Yinlang would surely reach 20%. Come forth, Xiaoyu Yinlang. Following a resonant wolf's howl, a gargantuan white wolf, 7 to 8 meters in length, materialized before everyone's eyes. The dozen men scrambled backward, staring at the sight in complete disbelief. How many years of cultivation is this beast soul? How can it be so massive? Could this be a Hanbing Fenglong? That cannot be right. A Hanbing Fenglong is not this large, and the aura it radiates is not that of ice. The dozen men pointed at the colossal Xiaoyu Yinlang, momentarily forgetting to launch their assault. Seeing this, I let out a cold laugh, and in the next heartbeat, I swung both hands and the wolf's claws lashed out, felling 2 men in a single instant, utilizing the Gale Step, summoning the beast soul and unleashing its spirit skill. The soul skill, unleashed by the beast soul, possessed 10 times the power of one I could perform myself. The colossal frame of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf did not hinder its speed in the slightest. On the contrary, it surged forward with the rapid pace of the Gale Step technique. To the dozen men, their vision blurred. By the time they could react, they had already collapsed, unable to rise again. The gold-rank beast tamer was the first to recover, and with a thunderous roar reminiscent of a tiger, a phantom of a war tiger manifested behind him. The next moment, this phantom gradually solidified before merging directly into his body. The beast soul had not vanished. It had unified with his physical form. This is the exclusive ability of a gold-rank beast tamer, the union of man and beast. By merging with the beast soul, the beast tamer can perfectly manifest the full might of the spirit, with the power of the beast skills, unleashed, being 100 times greater than normal. I struck like lightning, reaping the lives of the dozen men in an instant. The scene was left with only this singular gold-rank beast tamer remaining. His eyes were wide with utter astonishment. Looking around, he saw that his fellow sect disciples had been wiped out in the blink of an eye. Even if he had taken action himself, he could not have slain so many in such a short window of time. Who on earth is this person? Since when did my Huxiao sect offend such a formidable expert? The gold-rank beast tamer pondered with a grave expression. At that very moment, my voice suddenly echoed from the front right of the beast tamer. He looked toward the sound, where I stood, watching him with a sinister smirk. Yet, in that exact instant, the beast tamer sensed a disturbance behind him. Lacking the time to turn, his years of combat experience compelled him to dodge. Without a moment's hesitation, he utilized his fusion with the war tiger beast soul. Flooded with power, he lunged forward, leaping 3 meters away in a single bound. The next second, the massive Moon-Howling Silver Wolf lunged from behind, but its strike hit nothing but air. Seeing this, I could not help but feel a twinge of regret. This strike west tactic was something I had only just grasped, but the opponent's combat experience was truly profound. The very first time I employed it, it had already failed. Nevertheless, it was a close call. I was only a hair's breadth away from being struck, an experience that left me both stunned and thoroughly incensed. The gold-ranked Beastmaster's legs surged with explosive power as he suddenly stomped into the ground. With a furious roar, the gold-ranked Beastmaster launched himself toward me like a falling meteorite, channeling the combat technique. Tiger overturning heaven. Members of the Tiger Roar sect tame only tiger-type beast souls, allowing them to unify their combat techniques under a single elemental affinity. This is precisely the core strength of their sect. The fusion of man and beast mitigates many of the inherent weaknesses of a Beastmaster. For instance, when a beast soul leaves the body, The Beastmaster is typically left defenseless and vulnerable. This gold-ranked Beastmaster assumes I am a silver-ranked Beastmaster, and he is clearly well-versed in the limitations of that rank. A silver-ranked Beastmaster can command their beast soul to fight independently, but in doing so, they strip away their own protection. Therefore, one only needs to strike down the Beastmaster's physical body to secure victory. This is the first time I have encountered an opponent of such formidable caliber. This is the true power of a gold-ranked Beastmaster. I once suspected that Lejean, the man who handled my family's debts, was also a gold-ranked Beastmaster. With my current cultivation, I might be able to contend with him, or at the very least, escape unscathed if I cannot overcome him. However, after this battle, I have gained a new understanding of the true might of a gold-ranked Beastmaster. Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, return, stand your ground, me. Kong spoke softly. In the next instant, the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf in the distance vanished, instantly returning to my body. The tiger overturning heaven technique connected. I was enveloped by the phantom of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf and sent flying back several dozen meters. Truly powerful, I remarked, reeling from the impact of that blow. At that very moment, the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf spoke. Master, you possess no beast techniques of your own. To rely solely on my strength, I fear it will be difficult to overcome him. By consuming the energy of those men earlier, my recovery has reached 19%. With just a little more, I could reach 20%, which would allow me to awaken the beast soul's innate soul skill. Innate soul skill? I was startled. Though I did not know what it entailed, I sensed vaguely that it was an incredibly potent ability. With just a little more, I felt myself caught in a predicament. All the medicinal herbs I had previously obtained from xuanhuan had already been exhausted to resurrect the Shadow Void demon. At this moment, I possessed nothing on my person that could be converted into energy. Yet just then, I noticed something at the doorway of the dilapidated Taoist temple. Xuanhuan was peeking out, cautiously observing my battle from a distance. Gale Step. I activated the Gale Steps technique. With me in its grasp, the Howling Silver Wolf arrived at the entrance of the Taoist temple in the blink of an eye. Xuanhuan, do you still have any treasures containing energy on you? I have nothing left. All those medicinal herbs were already given to you. Xuanhuan, unaware of my intentions, shook her head and replied. I let out a sigh, but at that very moment my gaze fell upon the corpses scattered across the ground. A spatial ring. I noticed that one of them still had a spatial ring on their finger. Someone capable of wearing a spatial ring must surely possess an abundance of treasures. I thought to myself, and immediately issued a command. Howling Silver Wolf, hold that man back. I am going to retrieve the spatial ring. No sooner had I finished speaking than the Howling Silver Wolf detached itself from my body and lunged toward the Golden Beastmaster. I sprinted with all my might, not daring to waste a single second. However, upon reaching the man, I found it impossible to slide the ring off his finger. I cursed under my breath, drew a blade, ignoring the blood upon it, and pried the ring loose, channeling my beast power into the spatial artifact. The seal on the spatial ring was instantly shattered. In the next heartbeat, the image of every item inside manifested within my mind. Sensing the object's radiating energy within, I retrieved an herb of unknown age and origin, and immediately recalled the Howling Silver Wolf to my side. Absorb this at once. As the words left my lips, the herb transformed into pure energy, surging into the body of the Howling Silver Wolf. Watching its recovery rate climb, it managed to increase by a mere 20%. I exhaled a breath of relief. It was just enough. The Howling Silver Wolf let out a resonant cry of exclamation. The further one progresses, the more difficult recovery becomes, and the greater the energy required to restore one's strength. Just then, the Golden Beastmaster seized the momentum and launched another strike. But at that moment, the phantom of the Howling Silver Wolf, clinging to my back, suddenly tilted its head toward the heavens and roared. The natal beast technique of the Howling Silver Wolf. Moonlight Wolfman. As the roar subsided, the Howling Silver Wolf, which previously measured 7 or 8 meters, suddenly stood upright. Its fur began to mat down, and like a human, its towering figure, now over 7 or 8 meters tall, stood behind me. It resembled a giant deity, standing firm to protect me. I could clearly sense that the strength of the Howling Silver Wolf had been significantly enhanced. Through the connection with its beast soul, my own power surged in tandem. Master, as you lack beast-taming techniques, I shall impart some of my combat experience to you. Later you may act as you see fit. You will certainly be able to unleash power that does not lose to a gold-rank beastmaster. The Howling Silver Wolf's voice echoed once more, and simultaneously, I received the memories of its ancient combat maneuvers. Are these truly called techniques? As I absorbed the knowledge imparted by the Howling Silver Wolf, I could not help but widen my eyes in disbelief. Is this not just the chaotic biting of a rabid dog? To charge and bite, to claw and unleash one's wild instincts to the absolute limit. Yet this very style of combat allows one to explode with the entirety of their aura and strength. Watching the gold-rank Beastmaster charge toward me, I felt the power surge from the beast soul and clenching my hands into claws. I lunged forward as well. We collided midair. I tackled him, and we rolled away together. With wolf claws and sharp fangs, I began to tear into any part of his body I could reach with savage ferocity. By manifesting the moonlight wolf human form, the howling silver wolf, an ancient demonic beast, could stand upright. In terms of bloodline and strength, it directly suppressed the vitality of my opponent. This suppression caused his power to dwindle significantly. Combined with the sheer potency of the howling silver wolf's innate beast technique, under my relentless frenzied assault, I was actually able to consume the gold rank Beastmaster's battle tiger beast soul piece by piece, absorbing it to replenish my own energy. Drenched in blood, I looked down at the gold rank Beastmaster, who now lay like a pile of broken sludge. I removed his spatial ring and walked towards xuanhuan. Hanwan, it is over now. I heaved a sigh of relief as if a heavy burden had been lifted, glancing at the corpses scattered outside the Taoist temple. I had no time to wash the blood from my body. I urged xuanhuan to leave this place immediately. The beast power in my body was severely depleted. I could not possibly sustain any further combat. If not for the innate technique of the howling silver wolf, I would surely have perished here today. After running for over 10 miles in one breath, I collapsed to the ground. Husband, husband, xuanhuan called out to me incessantly, but my eyelids grew heavy and I could hold on no longer. The physical toll of the depleted beast power became insurmountable, and I drifted into unconsciousness. As my body went limp, the look of anxiety on xuanhuan's face vanished, replaced in her jade-like hands gently traced the skin of my face. My dear husband, please forgive me. The powerful primordial beast soul within your body holds a great temptation for me. Could you not sacrifice a little to help your wife achieve her grand ambition? This moment is the perfect opportunity for me to absorb you. However, at that very instant, a dark shadow descended from the sky, positioning itself directly before xuanhuan. Xuanhuan grew furious at the sight and snapped, "Who gave you permission to approach me in broad daylight?" The shadow's entire body trembled. He shook visibly and stammered, "Leader, the Demon Suppression Division has discovered your identity." After speaking, he vomited a mouthful of black blood, yet without pausing to wipe it away, he continued, "One of our people has been captured." His memories were consumed by the Demon Suppression Division, which is how they learned who you are. That damnable Demon Suppression Division. xuanhuan no longer pursued the matter of his sudden appearance, instead placing me gently onto a large stone slab. xuanhuan looked at me, then back at the dark shadow. "Your current body can no longer be used. 10 miles to the south, there is a mid-tier beast-taming sect known as xuanhuan. There are dozens of disciples' corpses there. Go find one to inhabit temporarily, then go into hiding. Do not reveal yourself for the time being." Understood, the man replied hastily. "But leader, what about you? It is merely the Demon Suppression Division. As long as their chief, Shang Wentian, does not take action, the others cannot do anything to me." xuanhuan spoke with supreme confidence, her hands clasped behind her back. "This subordinate takes their leave." Finishing his words, the man leaped into the air and flew toward the south. Once he had departed, xuanhuan returned to my side. "I shall absorb your memories and energy. Though I could obtain all your memories and abilities, you are still unfledged and cannot yet stand on your own. If I can accelerate your growth for my own use, it may be enough to contend with those from the Demon Suppression Division." At this thought, xuanhuan wore a gentle smile, lightly caressing my cheek. xuanhuan spoke softly, "My beloved husband, you must mature quickly and protect your wife well. Sleep soundly. When you awaken, your wife will have a surprise for you." As the sky grew dark, I rested my head on xuanhuan's lap beside the campfire. The warmth of the crackling flames brought me a sense of deep comfort. After an afternoon of recovery, the self-healing properties of my body allowed the beast power within me to steadily return. As I opened my eyes, I was immediately struck by a captivating fragrance. This familiar scent filled me with a sense of immense refreshment. It seemed as if she felt that I had awakened. xuanhuan called out softly and in a rush, "Husband, you have finally awakened." Under the firelight, I could see xuanhuan's eyes brimming with tears. I couldn't help but reach out to wipe the tears from the corners of her eyes. Why was she crying? "Your husband has a tenacious life. I merely exhausted my beastly essence and needed a rest. I was so afraid you wouldn't wake up," xuanhuan said, her voice choked with emotion. "It was so dark here. It took me a great effort to start a fire, and I was so worried about you." Having said that, xuanhuan threw herself into my arms and began to sob. All right, it is fine now. Am I not awake already?" I gently patted xuanhuan's back with one hand and stroked her hair with the other to console her. After a while, xuanhuan finally sat up from my embrace. "In the future, you must not do this again. If we cannot win, we should run. There's no need to risk your life fighting them to the end." Very well, I shall listen to my wife." Watching xuanhuan pout and cross her arms, feigning a tone of reprimand, I couldn't help but laugh and nod. But then, reflecting on the battle, I couldn't help but sigh. I simply possessed too few beast techniques. Otherwise, it would not have been such an arduous struggle. "What is a beast technique?" xuanhuan asked curiously. It is a type of offensive skill used in conjunction with a beast soul. Husband, take a look and see if these are them. As she spoke, xuanhuan pulled 3 books from her storage ring with a puzzled expression. I took them with curiosity. The moment my eyes landed on them, they lit up. This is it, these are truly beast techniques. The next second, I looked up at xuanhuan in disbelief and asked, "Where did you get these?" Before we left, I found them in Father's room. So these are beast techniques? Xuanhuan seemed to be lost in thought, as she asked, "Will these be of help to you, husband?" Wait, let me examine them. Beast techniques are cultivated based on the type of beast soul and beast master possesses. A suitable system soul paired with a matching beast technique can unleash power many times over. I exclaimed in immediate astonishment. These are profound-grade mid-tier beast techniques. How could your third-rate clan possibly possess profound-grade mid-tier beast techniques? I feigned an expression of utter disbelief. Yet, deep within her heart, xuanhuan was quietly startled. She never expected that a mere profound-tier beast technique would leave me so astonished. It was fortunate that I had not yet revealed the Earth-tier techniques. Otherwise, my profound-tier mid-grade Wind Thunder triple kill would have certainly raised suspicions. I was deeply captivated by this beast technique, and it took me a full quarter of an hour to snap out of my trance. Truly profound, absolutely marvelous. This Wind Thunder triple kill, when combined with the beast soul of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf, can be unleashed to its absolute potential, and when augmented by the ancient bloodline of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf, its power is truly boundless. Xuanhuan, you truly are my lucky star. I set the beast technique down, grabbed xuanhuan by the head and kissed her repeatedly. "Stop it, you detestable man, your saliva is everywhere." xuanhuan giggled, yet she found herself unable to break free. After releasing xuanhuan, I picked up the second beast technique manual, but as I turned the first page, I was once again struck with astonishment. It was yet another profound tier beast technique. The profound tier low-grade rushing thunder beast power diagram. What a peculiar name. I wonder what purpose it serves. Filled with curiosity, I opened it to examine the contents. A moment later, a howl erupted across the desolate field, emanating from me. This is a beast technique designed to replenish beast power. Recalling how I had previously fallen into coma due to the exhaustion of my beast power, I could not help but feel a lingering fear. If the enemy had reinforcements, the situation would have been dire. Had I fallen unconscious then, and the enemy's reinforcements arrived, it would have been the end of me. And yet, this profound tier low-grade beast technique is capable of efficiently restoring beast power. Furthermore, it differs from other conventional recovery beast techniques. It allows for replenishment during the heat of battle, which is why it is named Rushing Thunder. The more intense the battle, the more violent the beast power becomes. The Rushing Thunder beast power diagram recovers all the more beast power accordingly. This is akin to refueling an aircraft while it is in mid-flight. It is simply magnificent. After calming my surging tones, I once again pulled xuanhuan into my arms and kissed her fervently. At this moment, this was perhaps the only way to express the depth of my joy. Finally, I opened the last beast technique manual. The beast technique in my hands suddenly fell to the ground, an earth-tier low-grade beast technique. The Li family in Linyun City, a third-rate clan like yours, actually possesses a low-grade earth-tier beast technique. I find this impossible to believe. I looked at xuanhuan. One must know that the Li family to which I once belonged was a prominent clan in the city, yet the highest-tier beast technique I possessed was merely a high-grade profound-tier manual. And yet xuanhuan's family, a third-rate clan that relies on the Li family for protection, possesses a low-grade earth-tier beast technique that even the Li family would covet. Is this truly so formidable? Seeing the skeptical look on my face, xuanhuan's eyes clouded with curious confusion. She tilted her head slightly and asked, "Of course it is formidable." Observing xuanhuan's reaction, I realized that perhaps even she was unaware of its origins. It is possible that the Su family had a mysterious past, or that xuanhuan's father experienced things unknown to others, allowing him to acquire such a powerful earth-tier technique. I then opened the low-grade earth-tier beast technique manual to examine it. Low-grade earth-tier, gallop of 10,000 steeds. I pored over every single word. After a long while, I took a deep breath, steadying my agitated heart. The range of application for this beast technique is remarkably vast. Fundamentally, any beast soul belonging to a large beast type can utilize it. Upon activation, it manifests a multitude of illusory beast soul projections that surge toward the enemy, like a stampede of 10,000 horses. It is capable of dealing massive area of effect damage. However, if this technique is used by beast souls with massive physical forms, such as rhinoceroses, bulls, or elephants, the resulting power is unimaginable. If the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf were to use it, there might be a slight deficiency in weight, yet the power would still be immense. After all, the size of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf is quite substantial as well. That's right, I suddenly thought of the Ox Demon Phantom. If the Ox Demon Phantom were to utilize this beast technique, the power would truly be beyond imagination. These three beast techniques have, in effect, completely compensated for all of my current shortcomings. toward xuanhuan. In that moment, 1,000 thoughts raced through my mind, while xuanhuan could clearly see deep love and profound gratitude within Li Yi's eyes. Their eyes met, and the two embraced one another. At that moment, xuanhuan could not help but sigh inwardly. You fool, I am merely using you, yet you have truly lost your heart to me. Having obtained these 3 beast techniques, one could say that I am now like a tiger that has grown wings. Yet, I find it strange that even though we are only a few dozen miles away, the members of the Tiger Roar sect have ceased their pursuit. Little did I know, one of xuanhuan's subordinates, having arrived outside the dilapidated Taoist temple, had casually possessed a nearby corpse. Simultaneously, he acquired all the memories and abilities of that person, naturally becoming aware of everything that had just transpired. Just as he finished adapting to this new body, reinforcements from the Tiger Roar sect arrived on the scene. Save me, save me. A subordinate of xuanhuan feigned severe injury and called out to the despicable pair. The man leading the group asked in a stern voice. Where did they go? Towards that direction, the man gestured in the opposite path, successfully luring the members of Hu Xiao sect away. With food stored within our spatial rings, xuanhuan and I ate a little before she rested in my arms, drifting into a drowsy slumber. I took out thick garments to lay upon a large boulder, then covered xuanhuan with additional clothing. Twigs were tossed into the fire which flared up, occasionally emitting a crackling sound. Under the glow of the flames, I focused my concentration on mastering these 3 beast techniques. The following morning, I rubbed my sleepy eyes. xuanhuan was still nestled in my arms. She was sleeping soundly, curled up like an adorable kitten. Sensing my body move slightly, xuanhuan opened her eyes. The campfire nearby had died out, but the embers still smoldered, with wisps of blue smoke curling into the air. After gathering our belongings, xuanhuan and I washed our faces at a nearby stream before continuing our journey. Following a night of rest, and with the practice of the Thunder Beast power chart, the beast power within my body had fully recovered. Furthermore, the capacity of my beast power reserves had increased significantly. Dozens of men riding tall war horses halted before the gates of the Li family. The Li family guards, upon seeing such an aggressive group, immediately stepped forward to inquire. The demon-suppressing envoys are on official business. Stand aside. The leader presented his identification token, shoved the guard aside with one hand, and proceeded inside. Upon hearing the news, Li Zhan hurriedly led a group of elders to the entrance to receive them. Before they could reach the door, the members of the demon-suppressing envoys had already stormed in aggressively. We were unaware of your sudden visit. Please excuse our lack of hospitality. Honored guest, please come inside. Li Zhan hastily cleared a path, ushering the demon-suppressing envoys into the great hall. Honored guests. Li Zhan looked at the demon-suppressing envoys in confusion. He asked, filled with doubt, but his words were cut short before he could finish. Is it true that the only daughter of the Su family in Liyuan City was married into your Li family? The only daughter of the Su family? Li Zhan was briefly perplexed before immediately coming to a realization. Yes, that is correct. The Su family's only daughter was married to my rebellious son, Li Yi, but we have banished them. One of the demon-suppressing envoys gave a cold command. It was only then that Li Zhan realized this man was a sword-wielding protector of the Demon Suppression Bureau. The Demon Suppression Bureau is structured into 4 distinct ranks, starting with the chief, the highest authority within the Bureau, followed by the sword wielder, a high-ranking officer of the Bureau, the blade bearer, the pillar of the Bureau, and finally, the assistant, the lowest-ranking members of the organization. Yet, even the lowest-ranking assistant is an existence that no family in any major city would dare to provoke. Even a blade bearer commands enough respect that the city lords of major regions must grant them 3 parts of deference, and standing before them now was 1 sword wielder, accompanied by 5 blade bearers, and 14 assistants. This was a sight the Li family had never witnessed before. Esteemed lords, there is something you do not know. That rebellious son is the eldest son of my Li family. However, several days ago during his coming-of-age ceremony, he failed to awaken his beast soul. According to our clan's regulations, he was forced into marriage with the only daughter of the Su family, and subsequently dispatched to Yong'an County to manage the family's business affairs. But who could have foreseen that he would come into conflict with his own brother, ultimately resulting in his brother's death? He is currently being pursued by the Li family, and his whereabouts remain unknown. Observing the frantic and fearful expression with which Li Zhan offered his explanation, the sword wielder of the Demon Suppression Bureau let out a cold, 3-part laugh. Are you aware of the consequences of concealing the truth from the Demon Suppression Bureau? Yes, of course. I am aware. Esteemed lords, I ask you, who would dare to hide anything in the presence of the Demon Suppression Bureau? The sword wielder of the Demon Suppression Bureau snorted coldly, then turned and walked outside. Just as they emerged from the Li family's main gate, City Lord Lu Yuan hurried toward them. But to his surprise, the sword wielder merely cast a side glance and walked right past him. City Lord Lu Yuan stood there, bewildered, watching the agents of the Demon Suppression Bureau. They had departed. The city lord hurriedly asked, "Why did the Demon Suppression Bureau arrive here so suddenly?" "They are searching for my rebellious son. I suspect my unfilial son must have caused some kind of trouble while away." Li Zhan replied in confusion. The city lord was immediately struck with alarm. "Let me tell you this, Li Zhan. Do not let the affairs of your Li family cause any trouble, otherwise I will show you no mercy." Yes, 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 Lord City Lord. Please set your mind at ease." Li Zhan responded repeatedly. "I shall now issue a decree to the world to expel that rebellious son from the Li family, and I shall sever all ties of father and son with that ingrate. Should we meet again in the future, it shall be with blades drawn. This is for the best." The city lord flicked his sleeves and turned to depart. Upon leaving the city, the group of demon suppression envoys headed straight toward Luyuan City. Watching their departing figures from atop the city walls, the city lord muttered, "They have already alerted the sword-wielding envoys of the Demon Suppression Bureau." What could have happened? Lord City Lord. A guard from the city lord's mansion ran over in a hurry. There is news. It is said that the Su family, a third-rate clan in Liyuan City, where xuanhuan was married into, had all 120 members brutally massacred a few days ago. It is said that. The guard suddenly lowered his voice upon reaching this point. What is it? Speak quickly. Was it the work of the shadow demons? The city lord's eyes widened immediately. Have these shadow demons reached the Great Xia Kingdom? Were they not eradicated by the people of Great Zhou 10 years ago? Why have they surfaced in our Great Xia now? Lord City Lord, what exactly are these shadow demons? A close aide beside the city lord asked in confusion. Shadow demons are sinister creatures inherited from the ancient era. They can parasitize the human body, seizing all of the host's memories and abilities. No one knows what they truly look like. It is possible that there are even shadow demons among those around us. The close aide looked around in immediate terror. Liyuan City. The group of suppression envoys arrived in only half an incense stick of time. Upon receiving the news, the Liyuan City Lord hurriedly led his men to welcome them. Situ, the City Lord of Lun and Demon Suppression Envoy Xiao Yong, pay respect to the sword-wielding Lord. Seeing the leader of the Demon Suppression Envoys, the Liyuan City Lord immediately knelt on one knee to speak. The group of Demon Suppression Envoys quickly entered the city and made their way to the City Lord's mansion to encamp. There was not a hint of a smile upon their faces. Like a machine that knows no fatigue, he sat down and demanded directly, "Bring me every piece of information here. From the last year, leave nothing out." The Su family was only discovered to have been slaughtered at dawn the following day. A moment later, the swordkeeper of the Demon Suppressing Division questioned. Everything was peaceful. Why would they slaughter the entire household? Logically speaking, we had not yet discovered her identity at that time. Could it be that the family members had uncovered her true identity? The swordkeeper's mind raced, weighing all the possibilities, yet he could not fathom the motive. So, where are they now? According to the reports from our scouts, they stopped in Wujie City for one night yesterday, after which they had a confrontation with a mid-tier sect, the Tiger Roar sect. Li Yi, the eldest son of the Li family, slaughtered dozens of members of the Tiger Roar sect before fleeing Wuxi City. What? The keeper of the Demon Suppressing Division spoke sharply. Is Li Yi not a good-for-nothing, who has yet to awaken his beast soul? No, that is not the case. It is said that he has been concealing his true strength. Furthermore, based on the beast soul he displayed, its age has reached at least 1,000 years. Xiao Yong, the city lord of Luyuan City, still sounded somewhat incredulous as he muttered, "Haha, interesting, very interesting." Unexpectedly, the swordkeeper was not angry. Instead, he seemed delighted, as if nothing could have surprised him more. He slaughtered all 120 members of the Su family, just to prevent that Li Yi from discovering the truth. Demon Suppressor, you are well versed in the behavior of the shadow demon. He deduced the entire sequence of events instantly. But what interests me more now is that Li Yi, does he or does he not know the true identity of xuanhuan? If he does, I fear this man does not have long to live. The swordkeeper knew well that the shadow demon would never allow a mortal to discover their true nature. They guarded against every eventuality solely to prevent their exposure, hiding within the Su family, marrying into the Qi family. Every action was a calculated move to mask their identity, even if it meant ruthlessly slaughtering an entire household overnight to ensure their secret remained buried. From Luyuan City to Wuxia City, it appears their ultimate destination is the Beast King Range. The swordkeeper of the Demon Suppressing Division stood up abruptly. Notify the members of the Tiger Roar sect. Share the information on their whereabouts with them, and instruct them to head to the Beast King Range immediately to intercept xuanhuan. The closer we drew to the Beast King Ridge, the greater the number of people we encountered. Members from various sects appeared along the winding roads, each party passing the other with watchful, suspicious eyes. I instructed xuanhuan to don a long, heavy cloak, pulling the hood low to conceal her exquisite and captivating features, which would undoubtedly spare us a great deal of unnecessary trouble. Beast King Ridge was a fortress city, with the great Xia army stationed just outside its walls. The logistics and supplies for the army were sourced directly from this very city. Furthermore, it sat adjacent to the largest spirit beast forest, spanning the border between two nations, a mountain range that appeared as if cleaved in two by a god's blade. Because of this, it served as a hub for a massive number of mercenaries and travelers, and as the city came into view at the edge of the vast, treacherous forest, I finally let out a sigh of relief. However, upon reaching the gates of Beast King Ridge, I found a large crowd gathered. Filled with curiosity, I stepped forward and stood on my tiptoes to look into the center of the throng. My expression darkened instantly at what I saw. A wanted poster plastered firmly against the city wall. Does anyone recognize the script on that notice? Read it aloud for the rest of us. Let me see. A young man, appearing to be a scholar, pushed his way to the front. But immediately after reading, the color drained from his face. This is an arrest warrant, issued by the Demon Suppression Envoy. Beside it is the official seal of the Huxiao sect of the beast-taming faction. The content states that they are hunting Li Yi, the eldest son of the Li family of Yiluyuan City, and his wife. It claims that Li Yi, the eldest son, maliciously murdered his own younger brother La Xiao due to internal family conflict. Following the warrants issued by the Li family in Liyuan City, the Demon Suppression Envoy discovered that Li Yi's wife, xuanhuan, has maintained illicit ties with our enemy, the Great Zhou. They are now offering a reward of 100,000 taels to anyone who captures Li Yi and his wife. Attached is a formal declaration from the Li family of Liyuan City. The head of the Litha family, Li Zhan, states through this announcement that he, Li Zhan, acting as head of the household, has long since severed all father-son ties with the rebellious son, Li Yi. From this day forth, should they meet, it shall be with blades drawn in hostility. Once the scholar finished reading, the Li family has clearly been struck by terror, going so far as to sever the father-son bond entirely, all to avoid being implicated. That was an inevitable outcome. His wife is a traitor to the enemy nation. Such a crime warrants the execution of one's entire clan. Just how breathtakingly beautiful is this sole daughter of the Su family, that the eldest son of the Leafy family would disregard everything and pursue her with such madness. Sigh, you all know nothing. The reality is not as you imagine it to be. I have just arrived from that side, and that eldest son of the Li family, Li Yi, is a notorious, talentless good-for-nothing. For 10 years, he has failed to awaken his beast soul. He was never held in any regard by Li Zhan. During the coming-of-age ceremony, Li's final attempt to awaken his soul also ended in failure. Consequently, the family banished him to a remote region to manage the clan's business affairs. Before he departed, he was betrothed to the daughter of the Su family, this very woman. After they left, the Li family's true prodigy, Li Yi's own younger brother, was killed by bandits. I suspect the Li family feared the fallout reaching them, so they claimed that Li Yi had murdered his own brother. They then declared to the public that they had severed all ties with him long ago. They washed their hands of the entire affair completely. The crowd suddenly realized the truth, though they could not help but remark that Li Zhan is truly ruthless. To discard his own flesh and blood in such a manner. If it were you, you would do the same. Using one son to preserve an entire clan, anyone with a shred of sense would make the same choice. However, the bounty is so generous, and that couple, Li Yi and his wife, are nothing more than commoners. This is essentially free money handed to us. Do you truly think it is that simple? Who is it that issued this arrest warrant? The Demon Suppression Envoy? A warrant issued by the Demon Suppression Envoy. Do you still think this money is easy to obtain? But I suspect this Li is just a talentless wretch, easily dealt with. The real concern is this xuanhuan. Indeed, a seemingly frail girl who is secretly a spy for the enemy nation. One cannot underestimate her methods. Upon hearing this, the crowd suddenly gained a deeper understanding of the situation. Taking advantage of the heated discussion, I gripped xuanhuan's hand tightly and slipped out of the city. Outside the city walls, the disciples of Hu Xiang and the agents of the Demon Suppression Envoy had been waiting for some time. The cold glimmer of their weapons in the darkness was blinding. Husband, it seems we have no choice but to fight today. xuanhuan smiled and cast aside her disguise, her eyes no longer holding a trace of weakness. Gloomy demonic energy swirled around me, leaving no time for shock as the beast souls within me detonated, and simultaneously, I summoned 3 of them forth. The howling moon silver wolf tilted its head toward the heavens, roaring in defiance, while the shadow bull demon stomped the earth, kicking up a storm of dust. The radiance holy lion spread its wings wide, descending in a golden light to shield him. Before the sword-wielding guard of the Demon Suppression Envoy let out a cold laugh, he merged with his beast soul, transforming into a golden mantis. With twin blades, he unleashed 2 torrents of forceful energy. xuanhuan's figure flickered as she moved to shield me. The shadow bull beast soul condensed into a shield to intercept the strike, causing a trail of blood to trickle from the corner of her mouth. You go first. She turned her head and let out a low growl, her demonic energy erupting to temporarily force back the pursuers. I knew that this was no time for hesitation. I commanded the Radiant's Holy Lion to spread its wings, while simultaneously recalling the Howling Moon Silver Wolf and the Shadow Bull to guard our surroundings. We go together. I took xuanhuan's hand and ascended into the air. The Radiant's Holy Lion carried us both toward the two-realm cliff. Behind us, the pursuers rained down arrows like a storm, while the Shadow Bull demon repeatedly turned to charge, desperately carving out a path of blood. The two-realm cliff was a 10,000-foot abyss, shrouded in thick mist. The demon suppression envoys chased us to the edge of the precipice, but dared not cross the boundary into the Great Zhou territory. The lead sword guard struck out in a fury, unleashing a wave of energy, but the Howling Moon Silver Wolf swallowed it in a single bite. xuanhuan looked at me as I guarded her, complex emotions flickering in her eyes as her gloomy demonic energy gradually receded. From now on, we shall build our future in Great Zhou. I lowered my head to look at xuanhuan. xuanhuan nodded gently. The pretenses and calculations of the past vanished in that very moment. The wings of the Radiant's Holy Lion sliced through the night sky, carrying us across the abyss and vanishing into the darkness of Great Zhou. On the edge of the cliff, the demon suppression envoy and Hu Xiaozong's men watched our retreating figures, unable to act. In the chaotic world of the Tian continent, the shadows of xuanhuan and myself, reflected by the forest of demonic beasts, were destined to become a new force that could not be ignored. The moment we crossed the two-realm cliff, the fierce winds of Great Zhou rushed toward us, carrying the pungent scent of the demonic beast forest. The wings of the Radiant's Holy Lion radiated a blinding golden light, and with great difficulty, it stabilized its flight, landing Li and xuanhuan upon a gentle slope beneath the cliff. Beneath our feet lay dark brown rocks covered in thick moss. All around stood towering ancient trees, their branches twisting like demonic claws, while the occasional roar of nameless beasts echoed through the air. In the silence of the night, the sound was all the more piercing. Li released xuanhuan's hand and stepped forward to scout the surroundings. The phantom of the Howling Silver Moon Wolf spirit beast drifted behind him, vigilantly scanning the dense forest. The wings of the Radiant Holy Master retracted, its golden light dissolving into a stream of energy that flowed back into Li's body. xuanhuan stood motionless, the lingering sinister demonic aura around her gradually dissipating, returning her to her usual gentle demeanor. Only the dried blood at the corner of her mouth remained, a grim testament to the tragic battle that had just transpired. For now this place was secure. Li turned to look at her and retrieved a clean silk handkerchief from his robes, offering it to her. Wipe it away. Thank you for earlier. xuanhuan accepted the silk. The warmth of the fabric against her fingertips caused her heart to tremble slightly. She bowed her head to wipe the corner of her mouth, avoiding Li's gaze. We are husband and wife. It is only natural that we support one another. The moment he finished speaking, she suddenly stumbled and let out a soft groan, clutching a nearby tree to steady herself. Li hurriedly stepped forward to support her, his fingers brushing against her wrist only to be met with a biting, icy chill. She was severely wounded. He furrowed his brows and immediately summoned the Radiant Holy Master, whose gentle golden light enveloped xuanhuan. Why did you not say anything earlier? It is merely a minor injury, it is of no consequence. xuanhuan spoke softly, feeling the turbulent qi and blood within her body being gradually soothed by the golden radiance. She knew that in resisting the strike from the demon-suppressing sword guard earlier, despite the protection of the spirit beast, she had still suffered internal injuries. Had Li not summoned the Radiant Holy Master to heal her in time, she feared she would not have been able to hold on. After a moment of healing, the Radiant Holy Master transformed into a stream of light and vanished. xuanhuan's complexion stabilized, and she looked up at Li, her eyes filled with a complex expression. Husband, do you truly not blame me for concealing my identity? Li remained silent for a moment before sitting on the stone beside her. From the moment I discovered the black key within you, to the destruction of the Su clan, and the subsequent pursuit by City Lord Lu Yuan, I have constantly questioned who you truly were. He turned to look at xuanhuan, his gaze unwavering and direct. But the way you have repeatedly risked your life to save me, that affection was genuine. I only wish the two family was truly destroyed by her. xuanhuan lowered her head, her long eyelashes casting shadows in the night. I am indeed of the shadow demon race, but I am not the murderer who slaughtered the two family. She opened her mouth slowly, her voice tinged with melancholy. The shadow demon clan has been passed down since ancient times. We are not as bloodthirsty or cruel as the rumors suggest. We can consume memories, but we would never harm others without cause. The destruction of the two family was the work of traitors within the shadow demon clan. They wished to use my identity to sow chaos across the great Xia dynasty, seizing the opportunity to expand their own power. For a moment before continuing, I was adopted by the two family when I was a child. The grace shown to me by the husband and wife of the two family was as heavy as a mountain. They knew of my true identity, yet they never once treated me with disdain and always chose to protect me. I used the demonic obstacle technique to seal the origin beast lands precisely to hide my identity and avoid bringing disaster upon them. But I never expected that in the end, I would still be unable to protect them. Li Yi felt a tremor in his heart. Seeing the sorrow in xuanhuan's eyes, it did not seem like she was feigning grief. Why then did the city lord Lu Yun claim she was a traitor to the shadow demons? The secret he desired was the shadow demon's ability to consume memories. Xuanhuan let out a cold laugh, a flash of icy killing intent flickering in her eyes. He thought that by capturing me, he could obtain the power of the shadow demons to dominate the great Xia dynasty. As for the slaughter of the De family, it was merely an opportunity for him to shift the blame onto me, providing a righteous pretext to hunt me down. Li Yi remained silent. He recalled the greedy gaze of City Lord Liu Yuan and the tragic fate of the Tu family, a surge of righteous indignation rising within him. This blood feud, I will help you settle it. He spoke in a low, resonant voice, his tone resolute. Xuanhuan looked up at him, a flicker of profound emotion flashing in her eyes. She knew that the words Li Yi spoke at this moment were not born of impulsive passion, for this man possessed a gentle exterior, but carried a stubbornness and sense of responsibility deep within his bones. From the day of their wedding when he flew into a rage against Li Xiao for her sake, to his desperate struggle to protect her at the Wanglong Cup, and now, knowing fully well that she was a shadow demon, he still chose to place his trust in her. This affection had gradually brought warmth to her once frozen heart. "Husband, thank you," she whispered softly, taking the initiative to draw closer to Li Yi and resting her head upon his shoulder. Li Yi's body stiffened for a moment before relaxing, his arm gently wrapping around her shoulders. As the night deepened in the dense forest, the two leaned against one another, feeling the warmth of the other, momentarily forgetting the pursuers behind them and the chaotic world beyond. The next morning, just as the sky began to break with light, Li Yi was awakened by the sound of faint footsteps. He immediately became vigilant and summoned the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, his sharp gaze scanning the surroundings. Xuanhuan also awakened as gloomy demonic energy began to silently surge around her, preparing for battle. When they saw, deep within the forest, several figures slowly emerging. The leader was an old man dressed in blue robes with silver hair. His eyes were cloudy yet exuded an unfathomable, profound aura. Behind the old man stood four middle-aged men, all possessing a composed demeanor with swords at their waists. One could tell at a glance that they were experts. "Who are you? And why are you lurking here?" Li Yi asked in a cold voice. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf threw its head back and roared at the sky, its massive frame shielding the two of them, radiating the oppressive might of an ancient-era spirit beast. The old man paid no heed to the presence of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, his gaze falling upon Li Yi as he spoke indifferently. "I'm the sect master of the Qingquan sect of the Great Zhou, Li Moran. I heard that the demon suppressors of the Great Xia are hunting a young couple who fled into my Great Zhou territory, so I came specifically to investigate." His gaze swept over Li and Xuanhuan, finally coming to rest on the spectral image of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf behind Li Yi, a flash of astonishment appearing in his eyes. The ancient Moon-Howling Silver Wolf. To think that such a rare beast soul still exists in this world. Li Yi felt a shock in his heart. The Qing sect, he had heard Xuanhuan mention it before. Within the borders of the Great Zhou, there were three top-tier beast-taming sects, and the Qingquan sect was one of them, possessing immense power with disciples scattered throughout the Great Zhou. He had not expected to encounter someone from the Qingquan sect the moment he arrived in the Great Zhou. "I do not know whether Sect Master Li comes as a friend or an enemy," Li Yi asked guardedly, his beast energy circulating silently within his body, clearly ready for battle at any moment. Smiled. "Neither enemy nor friend. It is just that I see you are blessed with extraordinary talent. To possess an ancient beast soul at such a young age is truly a rarity. Recently, war between the Great Xia and the Great Zhou has been ceaseless, and with the frequent disturbances in the spirit beast forest, it is a time when capable people are needed. I am intentionally inviting you to join the Qingquan sect. I wonder what your thoughts are on this." Join the Qingquan sect? Li Yi's heart stirred. He knew that since he and Xuanhuan were being hunted by the Great Xia, they had nowhere else to go. If he could join the Qingquan sect, he would not only gain protection but also be able to utilize the sect's resources to elevate his cultivation, and soon exact vengeance for the Su family against the treacherous hidden clan and suppress the Mahdi tribe. He turned to look at Xuanhuan, his gaze silently seeking her counsel. Xuanhuan nodded slightly and said in a soft voice, "The Qingshu sect holds a reputable standing within the Great Zhou Empire. Sect Master Li Moran is a man of great virtue and prestige. He is worthy of our trust." Having received Xuanhuan's validation, Li Yi had reached his decision. He cupped his hands toward Li Moran and said, "I am grateful for your favor, Sect Master Li. If the Qingquan sect is willing to accept us, I am honored to join the sect and contribute to its future." A look of satisfaction appeared in Li Moran's eyes. "Excellent. Since you have agreed, then follow me back to the Qingquan sect." He turned and signaled for the disciples behind him to lead the way, adding, The path is infested with spirit beasts. I shall have my men ensure your protection. The group set out on their journey to the Xuanhuan sect. The Xuanhuan sect was situated deep within the Qingyun mountain range of the Great Zhou, a place of treacherous peaks and shifting mists that resembled a celestial paradise. Along the way they indeed encountered many spirit beasts, from the savage bloodtusk boars and the swift wind-blade leopards to the stealthy nethercats. However, with the Xuanhuan sect disciples clearing the path, and Li Yi occasionally summoning his Howling Moon Silver Wolf to strike, the journey passed without any true peril. During the transit, Li Yi seized the opportunity to cultivate the three-beast technique xuanhuan had gifted him. The mid-grade mysterious technique, Wind Thunder Triple Kill, possessed astonishing power. By channeling beast energy in harmony with the speed and strength of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf, he could unleash strikes infused with the raw power of wind and thunder, an assault that no defense could easily shatter. The low-grade mysterious technique, Thunder Gallop Beast Energy Diagram, was truly profound. The more intense the battle, the faster his beast energy would recover, significantly bolstering his combat endurance. As for the low-grade earthly technique, 10,000 Horses Galloping, although he could not yet unleash its full potential, merely executing the preliminary form allowed him to manifest hundreds of spectral beast soul projections, each possessing immense destructive force. Xuanhuan did not remain idle either. Under the guidance of Li Moran, the hidden energy within her body began to stabilize. It turned out that years ago, Li Moran had encountered a member of the Hidden Clan and understood the secrets of their bloodline. Perceiving that the hidden energy within Xuanhuan's body was in a state of flux, he imparted to her a cultivation manual dedicated to tempering, helping her gain better control over her powers. A few days later, the party finally arrived at the Xuanhuan sect. The sect's main gate, built from massive bluestone, stood in magnificent splendor. Above it were three large, powerful, and imposing characters, Xuanhuan sect, radiating a faint, lingering spiritual energy. Flanking the gate were two massive stone beast statues, each reaching 10 zhang in height, a azure dragon and a white tiger, projecting an aura of immense majesty. After entering the gate and ascending the winding stone path, they observed many Xuanhuan sect disciples practicing their craft. Some sat in cross-legged meditation, absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. Others were sparring, their martial arts manifesting shimmering projections of beast souls, and there were those refining medicinal pills or forging weapons, a scene of true prosperity. Li Moran led Li Yi and Xuanhuan toward the main hall to summon the elders for a council. Inside the hall, the atmosphere was solemn. The 7 elders sat on both sides, their breaths steady, and their true strengths unfathomable. Esteemed elders, this is Li and this is his wife, Xuanhuan. Li Moran introduced Li Yi, noting that he possessed the heaven-defying talent of the ancient Howling Moon Silver Wolf soul and had agreed to join the Xuanhuan sect. Though Miss Xuanhuan is not a beast tamer, she possesses a unique ability that could prove beneficial to our sect. Upon hearing this, the gazes of the 7 elders fell upon Li Yi, their eyes filled with scrutiny and astonishment. They could sense the potent beast power hidden within Li Yi's body, as well as the ancient pressure radiating from the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. Sectmaster, this man hails from the Great Xia and is wanted by their Demon Suppression Division. Taking him in so hastily may bring great trouble to our sect. The first elder furrowed his brow, a hint of concern evident in his voice. The first elder's concerns are not without reason. The second elder chimed in. The relations between the Great Xia and the Great Zhou have been tense of late. If we accept a criminal wanted by the Great Xia, it is inevitable that we will be held hostage to their whims, potentially igniting a greater conflict between the two nations. Li Moran smiled. You elders are worrying over nothing. Though Li Yi comes from the Great Xia, he shares an irreconcilable enmity with their Demon Suppression Division. Since he is already a foe of the Great Xia, he is naturally an ally of our Great Zhou. Furthermore, Li Yi possesses extraordinary talent and limitless potential. If we dedicate resources to cultivating him, he will surely become a pillar of our Xuanhuan sect in the future, perhaps even assisting the sect in resisting the powerful beasts of the beast forest. Such a remarkable talent. How could we possibly let him slip through our fingers? He paused, then continued. As for the Great Xia dynasty, if they dare to stir up trouble over this, the Xuanhuan sect is not to be trifled with. I have already sent men to investigate. Li Yi and his wife are being hunted because they were framed by others. We stand on the side of justice in this matter. If Great Xia dares to act rashly, they will only make themselves the laughingstock of the world. The elders listened, nodding in succession. They were well aware of Li Moran's far-sighted wisdom. Since the sect master had spoken, they naturally offered no further opposition. If the sect master has decided, we have no objections. The first elder asked, how does the sect master intend to settle Li Yi and his wife? Li Yi possesses exceptional talent. He may enter the inner sect directly and become a core disciple under my personal tutelage. Li Moran continued. As for Lady Xuanhuan, she may enter the outer sect. If her performance proves outstanding, she shall be promoted to the inner sect later. No one voiced any objections. Once the council concluded, Li Miran dispatched men to lead Li and xuanhuan to their new residences. Li's residence was on Qingluan Peak within the inner sect. The environment was serene, the spirit energy was dense, and the quarters were fully furnished. Xuanhuan's residence was on Kuizhu Peak of the outer sect, not far from Qingluan Peak, allowing the couple to visit and care for one another with ease. Once settled, Li began his life of cultivation within the Qinghuan sect. Li Miran stayed true to his word, providing him with meticulous guidance. He not only instructed him in beast techniques, but also imparted many profound methods of beast taming. Li possessed a rock-solid foundation of beast power, combined with his 10-stage heavenful beast energy, and the assistance of the ancient beast soul. His cultivation progress advanced by leaps and bounds. In just one short month, he had mastered the 3 strikes of wind and thunder. When he unleashed the roar of wind and thunder, the power was many times greater than before. The beast power map of thunder had also been cultivated to the minor completion stage. During combat, his recovery rate of beast power surged, making the fear of depletion a thing of the past. Furthermore, under Li Miran's tutelage, he mastered 10,000 horses galloping, discovering the secret to manifesting thousands of beast soul phantoms, resulting in a truly terrifying offensive power. Meanwhile, the recovery rate of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf was also steadily increasing. The Qinghuan sect was rich in resources, and Li Miran provided Li Yi with an abundance of rare medicinal herbs and demon beast cores each month, so that he might nourish the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. As of now, the recovery rate of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf has reached 30%. Its strength is now equivalent to a 3-year-old beast soul, and its form has expanded to over 9 jiang, with its power significantly amplified. The Shadow Bull Demon and the Holy Saint of Light have certainly not been neglected. Li Yi utilized his excess energy to increase the recovery rate of the Shadow Bull Demon to 15%, resulting in a marked increase in both its defensive capabilities and raw power. The recovery rate of the Holy Saint of Light has reached 10%, enhancing its healing potency while granting it the ability to manifest a golden shield, which offers exceptional defensive efficiency. Xuanhuan's life at the Qinghuan sect has been remarkably productive. She diligently cultivates in the outer sect, benefiting greatly from the breath-regulating techniques imparted to her by Li Miran. The power hidden within her body becomes increasingly refined, allowing her not only to conceal herself more effectively, but also to boost her speed and strength for short durations. Simultaneously, she has leveraged the Yin Mi's ability to devour memories, acquiring a vast knowledge of the languages, scripts, and customs of the Great Shu dynasty, gradually integrating herself into this new life. During this period, Li has also faced several challenges. The Qinghuan sect is home to a vast number of inner disciples, many of whom possess extraordinary talent, and among them there are quite a few who harbor resentment toward Li Yi, an outsider who seemingly appeared from nowhere. They believe he ascended to his position solely by relying on the ancient beast soul, and that he is unworthy of the status of a core disciple, among whom Lin Feng, the grandson of the second elder, is the most prominent. Lin Feng is a standout figure among the younger generation of the Qinghuan sect. His beast soul is a rare golden winged great rock, possessing immense speed and formidable combat strength, and he is regarded as the future hope of the Qinghuan sect. He has long coveted the position of a core disciple. Now that Li has unexpectedly become a core disciple and is being personally tutored by the sect master, Lin Feng is consumed by the fires of jealousy. One day, while Li Yi was practicing the wind and thunder triple kill on the martial arts arena of Qingluan Peak, Lin Feng arrived with several followers, walking with an air of arrogance. Li, how can a wanted criminal from the Great Xia dynasty be worthy of Lin Feng stood with his arms crossed, gazing down at Li Yi with a voice dripping with contempt. Li ceased his cultivation and stared coldly at him. And who are you to judge my worth? It is not for you to decide. If you have the courage, let us settle this with a duel. Those are your words, not mine. A flicker of malice ignited in Lin Feng's eyes. Today, I will show you what a true core disciple is capable of. As the beast force surged within his body, the phantom of a golden winged rock manifested behind him, its wings spanning several jiang, radiating a sharp, piercing spiritual aura. Senior brother Lin Feng, teach him a lesson. Show him the true might of our Qinghuan sect. The sycophants gathered around him cheered. Li curled his lip into a cold smile as the beast force within him surged violently. The phantom of a Moon-Howling Silver Wolf instantly materialized. Its massive form, stretching over 9 jiang, seemed to blot out the very sky. The oppressive aura of the ancient spirit beast caused the surrounding air to stagnate. So what if you possess an ancient beast soul? Today I shall extinguish you. You vile beast. Lin Feng unleashed a roar as his golden winged rock beat its wings, diving downward. Its razor-sharp talons, imbued with ferocious spiritual energy, tore toward the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf. A welcome challenge. Li shouted, instantly unleashing the 3 slashes of wind and thunder. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf was instantly enveloped by the power of wind and thunder. It charged to meet the golden winged rock, and upon their collision, The sheer force of the impact caused the stone floor of the martial arena to crack and fissure. The talons of the golden-winged rock raked across the body of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf, but they were repelled by its impenetrable fur. Instead, the force of the wind and thunder sent Lin Feng stumbling back repeatedly. Lin Feng's expression shifted, stunned that the defense of the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf was this formidable. Unwilling to accept defeat, he commanded the golden-winged rock to strike once more. With a powerful flap of its wings, countless blades of wind whistled toward Li Yi. Li Yi remained unmoved, summoning the sacred lion of light. A golden barrier materialized, effortlessly intercepting every wind blade. Simultaneously, he activated the lightning beast force map, allowing his internal energy to rapidly replenish as he commanded the Moon-Howling Silver Wolf to counterattack. The Moon-Howling Silver Wolf flickered, transforming into a streak of white light that appeared instantly behind the golden-winged rock. The giant wolf's maw opened wide, snapping down toward the wing of the golden-winged great rock. The golden-winged great rock could not react in time. Its wing was bitten fiercely, and it let out a miserable shriek. Lin Feng felt a sharp, piercing pain in his mind. The beast soul and its master share a spiritual connection. As the golden-winged great rock suffered an injury, he was also affected. He hurriedly commanded the golden-winged great rock to break free from the Howling Moon Silver Wolf's grip, retreating in a desperate, disheveled state. "Do you still dare to fight?" Li asked coldly. The Howling Moon Silver Wolf bared its fangs, a savage glint flashing in its eyes. Lin Feng looked at the majestic, awe-inspiring Howling Moon Silver Wolf behind Li Yi, his heart filled with dread. He knew that he was absolutely no match for Li Yi. If the battle continued, not only would the golden-winged great rock suffer grievous injury, but he himself might lose his life. "I will remember what happened today." Lin Feng left behind a hollow threat before fleeing in a pathetic state with his attendants. The disciples of the xuanhuan sect, who had gathered to watch, looked at Li Yi with eyes full of reverence. Previously, they had been dissatisfied with Li Yi, but now, having witnessed his strength with their own eyes, they understood that his rise to become a core disciple was no mere coincidence. After this battle, Li Yi's status within the inner sect of the xuanhuan sect was completely solidified. No one dared to look down upon him anymore. Even among the outsiders, many disciples took the initiative to approach him and seek his favor. Time passed quickly. Half a year flickered by, and Li Yi's strength during this period had made a monumental leap. His beast power had reached the peak of a silver rank beast tamer, just one step away from the gold rank. The restoration level of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf increased to 50%, matching the strength of a 5,000-year-old beast soul. When his innate soul skill, Moonlight Lycanthrope, activated, it could fuse perfectly with Li Yi, unleashing power that surpassed a gold rank beast tamer. The restoration level of the Shadow Demon reached 30%, and its defensive capabilities were effectively peerless. Even a full-force strike from a gold rank beast tamer would find it difficult to cause harm. The restoration level of the Saintly Light Lion reached 20er. Its healing abilities were even more potent, and it could now project purifying light to dissipate malevolent energy. Xuanhuan's strength also saw significant progress. She had fully mastered the power hidden within her body, and was now able to not only devour memories but also perform stealth techniques, moving with the unpredictability of a ghost. Meanwhile, with Li Yi's assistance, she successfully awakened her beast power, becoming a black iron-grade beastmaster. Her soul was a rare nether cat, proficient in concealment and lethal strikes. One day, Li Moran suddenly summoned Li Yi and xuanhuan to the sect's main hall. Upon their arrival, they discovered that, apart from the elders, several generals in Great Zhou military uniforms were present. "Li Yi, xuanhuan, you have arrived." Li Moran gestured for them to be seated, his expression stern. "I have summoned you today because there is an important matter that must be entrusted to you." He paused, then continued. "Recently, there have been frequent disturbances in the beast forest. A massive horde of spirit beasts has surged out of the forest, attacking border towns and causing severe casualties and property damage. Following our investigation, it has been discovered that this is because a primordial beast, deep within the forest, the Nether Demon Dragon, has awakened. The Nether Demon Dragon is brutal by nature and possesses formidable strength. If it is not halted, I fear it will bring about a great calamity." The Nether Demon Dragon. Li Yi felt a shock in his heart. He had once read about the Nether Demon Dragon in an ancient manual of beast techniques. The Nether Demon Dragon was an apex spirit beast from the primordial era, its strength rivaling that of a peak gold rank beastmaster, capable of even challenging a spirit rank beastmaster, as its body harbored immense abyssal power. "Where must we go?" "Its master, what is it that you require of us?" Li Yi asked. "The strength of the Nether Demon Dragon is too great. Relying on the xuanhuan sect alone, it is difficult to subdue it," Li Moran stated. "The Great Zhou Imperial Court has decided to assemble a punitive expeditionary force. I have been appointed as the commander to unite the disciples of the various major sects, to march into the beast forest together, and eradicate the Nether Demon Dragon." I intend to appoint you as the vanguard to lead a division of disciples in clearing the path. Are you willing? This disciple is willing, Li Yi agreed without hesitation. Slaying the Nether Demon Dragon would not only eliminate a great threat to the people of Great Zhou, but also yield a vast quantity of spirit beast, inner cores and energy, allowing the recovery of beast souls like the Howling Silver Wolf to advance to the next stage. More importantly, this was an opportunity to prove himself, to show everyone that he, Li Yi, was not some good-for-nothing who relied. Xuanhuan also rose and spoke. Sectmaster, I too wish to accompany my husband and lend him my aid. Very well, Li Moran nodded. With the support of you both, this great undertaking shall surely succeed. The punitive expeditionary force shall depart in 3 days. Go and make your preparations. Upon returning to their residence, Li Yi and Xuanhuan began preparing for the journey. Li Yi organized all the medicinal herbs and beast cores containing spiritual energy, ensuring they were ready for any contingency. Xuanhuan packed essential clothing and healing elixirs, while simultaneously refining her concealment arts and the capabilities of her nether cat. 3 days later, the punitive army assembled outside the Serene Mountain Gate. The vast legion consisted of 50,000 soldiers, including disciples from the 3 preeminent sects, the Qinghuan sect, the Tianjian sect, the Wanshou Valley, and the elite forces of the Great Zhou Imperial Court. The soldiers were filled with high spirits. The spectral phantoms of their soul beasts shimmered, creating a magnificent aura. Clad in armor, Li Moran stood upon the high platform and spoke in a thunderous voice. Soldiers, the nether demonic dragon within the beast forest has awakened, slaughtering our people and encroaching upon the borders of Great Zhou. Today we gather here to eradicate this nether demonic dragon and defend our homeland. I believe that as long as we stand united, we shall surely strike down this wicked beast. Return in triumph. Exterminate the demonic dragon. Protect our homeland. 50,000 soldiers roared in unison, their voices shaking the heavens as the mighty army marched into the beast forest. The beast forest was boundless, thick enough to blot out the sun, and rife with peril at every turn. Along the way, they encountered hordes of beasts turned feral by the corrupting aura of the nether demonic dragon, including giant spiders, man-eating flora, and venomous serpents. Serving as the vanguard, Li Yi led 1,000 disciples of the Qinghuan sect at the forefront. He summoned the Howling Moon Silver Wolf and the Shadow Ox Demon. The former charged into the fray, while the latter provided defensive support. Xuanhuan utilized her concealment arts, coordinating with the Nether Cat to ambush beasts lurking in the shadows. With techniques like the Wind Thunder triple kill and the charging myriad horses, Li Yi fought like a god of war, unstoppable in his advance. The wind and thunder prowess of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf, the brute force of the Shadow Ox Demon, the healing and defensive capabilities of the Radiant Saint Lion, coupled with the shadowed support of Xuanhuan, ensured that although the path was fraught with danger, all obstacles were overcome, and countless beasts were slain in their wake. The great army marched for over 10 days, finally reaching the depths of the demonic beast forest. The air here was saturated with a thick, ominous energy that sent shivers down one's spine. In the distance, a colossal volcano stood imposingly between heaven and earth, its crater ceaselessly spewing plumes of black smoke, while a deafening dragon's roar could be vaguely heard echoing from within. The nether demonic dragon resides within that volcano. Li Moran pointed toward the distant peak, his expression grave. Soldiers prepare for battle. The army immediately assumed a combat formation. Li and Xuanhuan stood shoulder to shoulder at the front of the ranks. The beast force within their bodies pushed to its absolute limit, as 3 beast souls manifested simultaneously, radiating a formidable aura. At that very moment, the crater suddenly erupted, launching a massive pillar of black energy straight into the heavens. Following this, a gargantuan demonic dragon emerged from the depths of the volcano, its body stretching dozens of feet, covered entirely in obsidian scales. Its wings spread wide, blotting out the sky and covering the earth. Its head was ferocious, possessing a pair of blood-red eyes like lanterns, emitting a gaze filled with bloodlust. The nether demonic dragon unleashed a heaven-shaking roar. The immense sound wave left many soldiers reeling with dizziness, and some disciples of weaker cultivation were struck unconscious instantly. Attack, Li Moran commanded, leading the charge as his beast force surged wildly, manifesting a massive black tortoise beast soul behind him. The black tortoise's shell expanded, forming a giant shield to protect the army. Simultaneously, the black tortoise unleashed a pillar of light imbued with the power of water, striking toward the nether demonic dragon. The elders and generals of the great sects also took action one after another. Countless beast soul phantoms appeared, filling the sky with beast arts as a barrage of attacks rained down upon the nether demonic dragon. The nether demonic dragon showed no sign of fear, flapping its wings violently to launch a volley of black nether projectiles toward the army, while simultaneously opening its maw to unleash a massive torrent of nether hellfire. Where the fire passed, vegetation withered and stone melted. As the two sides' attacks collided, the immense shockwave caused the very earth to tremble. Many soldiers were struck by the nether hellfire and projectiles, reduced to ashes in the blink of an eye. Everyone, be careful. Li Yi shouted a warning, maneuvering the Howling Moon Silver Wolf and the Dark Shadow Ox Demon to charge forward. The Howling Moon Silver Wolf was enveloped in the power of wind and lightning. Dodging the attack of the Nether Demon Serpent, he leapt into the air, charging toward the wings of the Nether Demon Dragon. The Shadow Ox Demon blocked the vanguard of the army, its massive hardened body bracing against the onslaught of Nether Hellfire. Though its tortoise-like shell was scorched black, it remained unbroken. Xuanhuan unleashed the art of concealment, silently slipping beneath the Nether Demon Dragon. The Shadow Spirit Cat transformed into a streak of darkness, lunging into the belly of the Nether Demon Dragon. Sharp claws raked through the gaps between its scales. Sensing the pain radiating from its abdomen, the Nether Demon Dragon let out a deafening roar and swept its colossal tail horizontally. Xuanhuan reacted with lightning speed, pushing her concealment technique to its absolute limit to narrowly evade the strike. Li Yi seized the opening, unleashing the full force of the wind and thunder triple strike. The Howling Silver Wolf emitted a massive column of wind-thunder energy, striking the wings of the Nether Demon Dragon dead on. With a resounding crack, the wing was hit, dragon scales shattered, and black blood gushed forth. Completely enraged, the Nether Demon Dragon abandoned its assault on the army and lunged toward Li Yi. Its massive claws, surging with destructive power, swiped at Li Yi. "Husband, be careful!" Xuanhuan screamed in terror, attempting to rush to his aid, but she was repelled by the gale created by the dragon's wings. Li Yi's expression turned grave, yet he showed no trace of fear. He summoned the Holy Envoy of Light, manifesting a golden protective shield, while simultaneously circulating the flowing Thunder Beast power diagram to rapidly recover the energy within his body. Li Yi's stature grew in an instant, his eyes blazing with a fierce crimson light as he condensed the power of wind and thunder into his hands, meeting the claws of the Nether Demon Dragon head-on. As Li Yi collided with the dragon's claws, the immense force sent him stumbling backward, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. Yet the Nether Demon Dragon fared no better. Its claws were numbed by the power of the Wind Thunder Strike, forcing it to retreat several steps. At that very moment, Li Miran let out a thunderous shout, directing the xuanhuan beast soul to unleash a beam of sealing energy, which struck the body of the Nether Demon Dragon. The creature's entire body went rigid, and its movements grew sluggish. Seizing the opportunity, the elders and generals of the major sects launched a fierce, coordinated assault. Countless attacks rained down upon the Nether Demon Dragon, shattering its scales as wounds began to spread across its hide. Li wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth as the beast. He knew this was the optimal moment to slay the Nether Demon Dragon. He took a deep breath, perfectly integrating the 10,000 steeds galloping technique with the power of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. The beast essence within his body erupted without the slightest restraint. The Howling Moon Silver Wolf roared toward the heavens, and countless white wolf-shaped phantoms surged forward like a stampede of 10,000 horses toward the Nether Demon Dragon. These contained immense wind and lightning power. Each one was capable of inflicting devastating damage upon the Nether Demon Dragon. The Nether Demon Dragon attempted to retaliate, but was bound fast by the sealing power of the xuanhuan beast soul, rendering it unable to move. Countless wolf phantoms collided with its body, tearing its physical form asunder. The Nether Demon Dragon let out a wretched shriek before its massive frame crashed to the ground, drawing its final breath. Seeing the Nether Demon Dragon slain, the Grand Army erupted into earth-shaking cheers. Every soldier was jubilant, their faces radiant with the triumph of victory. Li slowly retracted his beast souls, his form returning to its natural state. He approached the carcass of the Nether Demon Dragon, sensing the abundant energy surging within its remains. The body of the Nether Demon Dragon contained vast amounts of nether energy and vital essence. This energy was immensely beneficial for the recovery of beast souls such as the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. He summoned the Howling Moon Silver Wolf, the Shadow Bull Demon, and the Holy Radiant Envoy, guiding the Nether Demon Dragon's energy outward for the three souls to absorb. The recovery rate of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf surged rapidly, soon reaching 70%, its strength now comparable to a beast soul's 7,000 years of age. The recovery rate of the Shadow Bull Demon reached 50%, its defensive capabilities and raw power experiencing a significant leap. The recovery rate of the Holy Radiant Envoy reached 40%, further augmenting its healing and purification abilities. Simultaneously, the beast essence within Li Yi's body grew rapidly, breaking through the bottleneck of a silver beastmaster. He successfully advanced to a gold beastmaster. The beast essence in his body became purer and more profound, making the command of his beast souls even more fluid. Li Miran approached Li Yi's side, patted his shoulder and spoke joyfully. "Well done, lad. You have performed brilliantly. In the slaying of the Nether Demon Dragon this time, your contribution was paramount. I thank the sect master for the excessive praise. This is the result of everyone's collective effort." Li Yi replied with humility. Xuanhuan walked to Li Yi's side, her eyes filled with pride and concern. Husband, are you unharmed? I am unharmed. Li grasped Xuanhuan's hand and smiled. We have succeeded. Following the demise of the Nether Demon Dragon, the army returned in triumph, and the Great Zhou Imperial Court bestowed generous rewards upon the Qingxuan sect and Li Yi. Li Yi was appointed as the Demon Dragon General, bestowed with vast quantities of gold, silver, rare medicinal herbs, and beast cores. Xuanhuan was also granted the title of Shadow Lady, and received numerous rewards of her own. After returning to the Qinghuan sect, Li Yi did not cease his rigorous cultivation for even a moment. He utilized the resources gifted to him by the Imperial House, continuing to elevate his strength. Simultaneously, he assisted Xuanhuan in strengthening her beast spirit. Xuanhuan's prowess grew steadily, and she soon advanced to the rank of Bronze Beastmaster. The abilities of her Shadow Spirit Cat also grew increasingly potent. This time, Li Yi did not forget his vow to avenge the Su family. He dispatched scouts to gather intelligence on the city lord of Liuyuan and the Yinmi rebels. He learned that because the city lord of Liuyuan had failed to capture Xuanhuan, he had been punished by the Great Xia Imperial House and demoted to a commoner. Meanwhile, the Yinmi rebels had stirred up even greater turmoil within Great Xia, seizing control of numerous cities and conspiring with the Demon Suppression Division to brutalize the populace. Li realized the time had come to return and bring this matter to an end. He bade farewell to Limeran, intending to take Xuanhuan back to Great Xia to eradicate the Yinmi rebels and exact vengeance for the Su family. Although Limeran was reluctant to see him leave, he understood Li Yi's resolve. He provided Li Yi with ample resources and manpower to ensure the successful completion of his crusade for vengeance. Upon departing the Qingxuan sect, Li Yi and Xuanhuan led the 1,000 disciples that Limeran had assigned to them, beginning their journey back to Great Xia. Their strength by this time was no longer what it once was. Li Yi had become a gold beast master. Xuanhuan was a bronze beast master, and with the addition of powerful beast spirits, such as the Howling Moon, the Silver Wolf, and 1,000 elite disciples of the Qingxuan sect, they were prepared to face any challenge. Along the way, they encountered many members of the Yinmi rebels and the Demon Suppression Division. Li Yi showed no mercy, leading his forces to slaughter them with the devastating power of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. With the ferocious strikes of the Shadow Demon, the healing and purification of the Holy Light Envoy, and the coordinated ambushes of Xuanhuan and the Qingxuan disciples, they swept through the region, cutting down countless enemies. After many days of travel, they finally arrived at Liuyuan City. Liuyuan City was now entirely under the control of the Yinmi rebels, and the people within lived in utter misery. The Yinmi rebels within the city committed every imaginable atrocity, burning, killing, and looting at will. The members of the Demon Suppression Division stood idly by, watching with indifference and even acting as accomplices to the rebels. Seeing the gruesome devastation within the city, Li Yi's eyes burned with righteous fury, and he immediately ordered the siege to commence. The disciples of Qingxuan sect deployed their formation. The battering ram struck the gates, while archers rained arrows upon the enemies atop the walls. The remnants of the Hidden Shadow rebels and the Demon Suppressing Division offered a fierce, desperate resistance. Countless attacks erupted from the ramparts, but Li Yi leaped into the fray, landing squarely upon the city gate. The phantom of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf manifested, unleashing the wind and thunder triple strike, slaughtering all enemies guarding the gate. Xuanhuan utilized her stealth arts, slipping quietly into the city to unbar the main gate from within. As the gate swung open, the disciples of Qingxuan sect flooded into the city like a tide. Alongside the remnants of the Hidden Shadow rebels and the Demon Suppressing Division, Li Yi and Xuanhuan fought side by side, becoming an unstoppable force. With every strike, the Howling Moon Silver Wolf tore its enemies asunder, while the Dark Bull Demon charged recklessly, scattering the members of the Demon Suppressing Division. The Radiant Saint Envoy stood nearby, emitting a purifying light that dispelled the nether energy of the rebels while healing the wounded disciples. The battle raged for a full day and night, turning Liuyuan City into a river of blood. In the end, the Hidden Shadow rebels were completely eradicated, and the members of the Demon Suppressing Division were captured. Li Yi eventually tracked down the Lord of Liuyuan City, who had been reduced to a commoner, and personally exacted vengeance for the Su family. Having secured Liuyuan City, Li did not pause to rest. He led his followers to press onward. One by one, he reclaimed dozens of cities previously controlled by the Hidden Shadow rebels. Countless members of the Hidden Shadow rebels and the Demon Suppressing Division were put to the sword. His reputation spread across the Great Xia Empire, and the common folk hailed him as their savior. Many who had been persecuted by the rebels joined his ranks, causing his influence to grow stronger with every passing day. Several months later, Li Yi led his grand army to Lingyun City. Ling City was currently held under the iron grip of the leader of the Hidden Shadow rebels. The Hidden Shadow leader was a formidable beast spirit master with immense power. His beast soul was the ancient hidden beast, a creature peerless in stealth and surprise attacks. His true strength remained unfathomable. Outside Lingyun City, Li Yi's army confronted the massive forces of the Hidden Shadow rebels. The Hidden Shadow leader stood atop the wall, gazing down at Li Yi with a flicker of disdain in his eyes. Li Yi, I never expected that a piece of trash like you could reach such heights. But today your fate is sealed. You shall die here. Cease your babbling. Li Yi replied coldly, you have slaughtered innocent civilians and butchered the entire Su family. Today I shall exact vengeance for the dead. The leader of the hidden faction let out a cold sneer. Channeling the beast energy within his body, the spectral phantom of an ancient hidden beast materialized. His colossal form was shrouded in dense, ghastly nether energy. I am a spirit beastmaster. You are but a mere gold-rank beastmaster, yet you dare to oppose me? Then let us put that to the test. Li roared, his inner beast energy surging like a tidal wave. The howling silver wolf, the shadow minotaur, and the radiant holy envoy, three beast spirits manifested simultaneously. They merged perfectly with his own essence. In an instant, his physical stature expanded, his body wreathed in the power of wind and thunder, nether energy, and radiant light. The three forces intertwined, radiating an aura of power that far surpassed that of any gold-rank beastmaster. Impossible. The leader's expression shifted, his eyes fixed on Li Yi in utter disbelief. How could you possibly command three distinct elemental powers at once? Li Yi offered no reply. He vaulted into the air, surging toward the leader. The three forces converged in his hands, coalescing into a massive pillar of energy that he unleashed upon the leader. Daring not to underestimate the attack, the leader commanded his ancient hidden beast to exhale a massive beam of nether energy to meet Li Yi's strike. As the two beams collided, the sheer force of the impact shook the very foundations of Lingyun City. Surrounding structures collapsed one after another, filling the air with a thick shroud of dust and debris. Recoiling from the immense shockwave, Li was forced backward repeatedly, a trail of blood seeping from the corner of his mouth. The leader fared no better. His ancient beast was driven back, the nether energy cloaking his form, fluctuating violently. I never imagined you would be this formidable. A glint of grave concern flickered in the leader's eyes. But do you truly believe that will be enough to defeat me? The beast energy within him erupted once more, and the aura of the ancient hidden beast grew increasingly frenzied. Ancient hidden beast, shadow devour. The ancient beast unhinged its colossal jaws. A potent vortex of devouring power erupted, threatening to consume Li Yi entirely. Li Yi's expression turned grim, realizing he could not endure such an attack head-on. He activated the thunderous beast energy diagram, causing the energy within his body to recover at an accelerated pace. Simultaneously, he maneuvered his three elemental forces to weave a defensive barrier, intercepting the tide of devouring energy. Xuanhuan, strike now. Li Yi shouted. Xuanhuan, having long been prepared, utilized the art of stealth to silently approach the leader from behind. Her shadow spirit cat transformed into a streak of darkness, lunging toward the back of the leader's neck. At the same time, the shadow energy within her erupted, manifesting a blade of darkness aimed at the leader's vitals. Sensing the peril looming behind him, the leader attempted to turn and defend himself, but he remained pinned down by Li Yi's relentless assault. The blade of obsession plunged deep into the nape of his neck. The leader of the Yin Mai let out a guttural groan. The beast power within his body fell into immediate chaotic disarray. Seizing the opening, unleashed the full might of his three combined powers. A massive pillar of concentrated energy erupted, surging toward the Yin Mi leader. Struck by the energy beam, the ancient hidden beast let out a final wretched shriek before dissolving into nothingness. Covered in blood, the Yin Mi leader collapsed to the ground, his breathing shallow and faint. Li approached him, gazing down with cold, indifferent eyes. This is the price for your slaughter of the innocent. The Yin Mi leader stared back at Li, his eyes brimming with resentment and terror. I cannot accept this. I am a prodigy of the Yin Mi clan, yet I fall to the likes of you. Disregarding his final words, Li brought his foot down, extinguishing his life in an instant. With their leader fallen, the Yin Mi rebels in Lingyun City were left leaderless and were swiftly purged by Li Yi's army. Hearing news of Li Yi's return and his triumph as the hero of Lingyun City, the members of the Li clan rushed out to meet him. Li Zhan looked upon Li Yi, who stood before him with such imposing majesty. His heart was heavy with remorse and regret. He longed to mend the fractured bond of father and son. But Li merely cast him a cold, fleeting glance, showing no interest in reconciliation. He no longer held any affection for the Li clan. The coldness and cruelty he suffered in the past remained etched in his memory. Once affairs in Lingyun City were settled, Li Yi and xuanhuan chose not to remain in the Great Xia Kingdom. They led their forces back to the Xuanhuan sect in Great Chu. The chaos had not yet subsided, and the hidden threat of the beast forest lingered. They still had much work to do. Upon returning to the Xuanhuan sect, Li Yi delved deeper into his cultivation, his strength ascending to new heights. Xuanhuan did not falter either. With Li's guidance, she successfully advanced to a silver-rank beastmaster. Supporting one another, they grew together, becoming powerhouses whose names resonated far beyond the Xuanhuan sect, across the entire Tianyuan continent. Years later, Li's power had reached the pinnacle of the spirit beastmaster realm. Xuanhuan too had ascended to the rank of golden beastmaster. Leading the disciples of the Xuanhuan sect, they repeatedly quelled the uprisings within the beast forest, safeguarding the lives of the people in Great Chu and Great Xia. Simultaneously, they completely eradicated the remnants of the Yin Mai rebels, forcing the Yin Mai clan into seclusion, ensuring they would no longer plague the world. As Li's strength grew, the beast eye hidden within his body gradually unlocked more of its inner prisons. Profound rank, earth rank, and even heaven rank beasts awakened one by one, becoming his most formidable allies. Li Yi became the strongest beastmaster in the history of the Tianyuan continent, honored by future generations as the beast-taming great emperor. The love between Li Yi and xuanhuan endured the trials of a turbulent age, becoming a legend immortalized through the centuries. Side by side, they stood as the eternal guardians of peace and order for the